Welcome to Tuttle Park here. We are going to be covering the championship game for the consolation bracket. We have the Boston Renegades, who are going to be the home team, versus the Long Island Bombers. It's kind of an all East Coast game. Long Island Bombers are going to be the first ones up to bat. They entered the record completely undefeated. They defeated all the teams to get here, so if Boston Renegade is going to win this championship bracket, they're going to have to beat them twice. So for the Long Island Bombers, we'll start off with Braulio Thorne. He's going to be followed up by Frank Guerra, then his brother Steven Guerra, Nick Esposito, Ronnie Matthews, and Jennifer Ash. James Sorrentino is going to be pitching to Don Fennick. And then on the other half of the Boston side, we'll have Joe Quintanilla leading it off, Joe Bazan following him up, Luis Marquez. Then you'll have J.J. Ward. Rich Flint will be DHing for Darren Black. And then you have Evan Silver. We'll go ahead and set the defense for you as they trot out on the field. The Boston Renegades are the home team again. So, Dave, looks like to be a pretty exciting game, huh?
And a beautiful day for beep ball it is. A few differences here between beep ball and baseball, though. As you can see, it's kind of set up like a baseball diamond. The bases are two 4-foot pylons that are 100 feet away from the base, and they are 10 feet off the line to hopefully avoid collisions between the runner and the defense. The ball must move 40 feet past the pitcher in order to be a fair ball, and that's pretty much it. The ball beeps, the bases buzz, and the base is determined by a spotter back by the official scorekeeper who
At random.
And as soon as the ball crosses the plate, that base is to beep, and that tells the runner which way to go. Everyone wears a blindfold.
Correct. Everybody has to have a blindfold on. In order to touch their blindfold, they have to turn away from home plate, face the other way, well, call timeout, turn away from home plate, adjust their blindfold, and then turn back. As you're going to notice, you did mention the 40-foot arc. There are two arcs out here. There's a 40-foot arc that the ball has to travel past in order for it to be a fair ball. And then you have the 180-foot arc, which is the home run. If the ball travels in the air past the 180-foot mark, that's a home run, and that is worth 2 runs.
Now, has anybody done that this tournament yet?
Closest one was Sam McKenzie, and he was about 2-3 feet away. It was quite a shot. They actually had the girl was actually standing right by where the ball landed, and she had to mark it because it looked like a home run from where we were sitting. It was a shot. Sam McKenzie playing for the Oklahoma City Bombers.
Sounds like they're still chasing that ball.
Yeah, we saw some big shots yesterday. So you also have you're going to notice you can have a couple spotters out in the field, or at least one spotter out in the field per team. And the spotter for the Boston Renegades, he's going to be a Brian Grillo. Spotter has to be careful. He only says one number one time, and that's a field position, not a player's number. And what happens when they got that is then the guy has an idea where the ball's coming to. So.
And they're only allowed to say that once.
Only one time, yes. If they do, they call it a double call, and that's an automatic run for the other team. So as we'll set your defense here, since the Boston Renegades are out first, you have J.J. Ward. He's playing down the third base line, about 100 feet away. You have Luis Marquez backing him up out in left center. You have Darren Black playing what they call the center rover position. He plays at about 75 feet. You have Evan Silver playing pretty much straightaway center. He's at about 100 feet. And then you have Joe Bazan over here on the right side, and out backing him up in the right center field position will be Joe Quintanilla. And up to bat, you're going to have big number 23, Braulio Thorne. James Sorrentino pitching, and Don Fennick catching. And now they're just waiting. Now, since we've got a few minutes here, we'll give you the umpires list. They have all the head umpires out here doing all the championship games. You're going to see the head umpire will be Dave Lakowski. Third base umpire looks like it's going to be Ken Bailey. Field umpires looks like it's going to be John Lakowski and James Hosh. And then the first base umpire will be Dave Horn. All very experienced.
This is certainly one of the premier crews you're going to find in beat baseball as far as umpiring goes.
Oh, but we still won't cut them any breaks. Would be good if we cut them a break.
This game is completely audible, so anytime we are not too far from the Ohio State University airport, so it comes a point where the defense cannot hear the ball, then there will be a delay in the game.
Yeah, everything's a sound on this one. Nobody likes to have anything interference.
Anytime the batter can ask for a base check, as he did there, first, third base, then first. We're getting all set for the first pitch of the game. There are also 4 strikes allowed in this game instead of the normal 3, and you are allowed to let one ball go by for a pass ball, which would be the ball count. A full count is 1 and 3. 1 ball, 3 strikes, and if they let any more than 1 ball go by, then that's a strike. Swing and a miss. He was underneath that one. Boy, he swings all the way around.
Yeah, James Sorrentino's just lining him up. He's getting a little bit high. You know, he likes that high ball. It looks like Bayou Thorne likes that pretty big high one, so he'll be set and ready to go this time.
Because they are blindfolded, they do have, it's a timing thing between the pitcher and the batter.
Oh, he swung underneath that one. James Sorrentino's got to bring that down to his bat. It's the pitcher's job to find the bat.
Right, and that's the same place that he swung last time, so the batter is consistent.
That's what the pitcher wants. So James will get the target here. He'll be on it. And the pitch. Oh, he hit that one. I don't know if that's going to make the 40-foot arc. It might, though. Oh,
foul ball.
I was calling that the beat baseball bunt yesterday. We had quite a few of those while we were watching it on the game. The ball only went about 40 feet, 2 inches, laid right on the line, but that's a hit. And tell you what, it gives the defense a hard time to catch it.
So otherwise, not a foul line, it's a fair line.
Exactly. You got to be moving on this one. Bayou Thorne, pretty big guy. Looks like he still has some speed, though, and that's another important thing. They have to take a direct path to that base. If they take that windabout right, just gives the defense more time to cover it up.
Sometimes if they just run for a base and it's the wrong base, they're not going to make it. You can't get that give that defense 2 extra steps.
Oh, he took a break on that one, let it go. Didn't like the sound of it.
That was a full count there of 1 ball, 3 strikes.
James Sorrentino, a lot of experience in beat baseball. He's been around about 15 years of beat ball. Oh, foul tip that one. He stayed alive.
Keeps them alive. Unlike softball, you do get as many, after your 3rd strike, you get as many fouls as you have until you either hit the ball or strike out.
And the record for the most number of fouls in a row is 23.
You probably called that game. You had a couple long ones.
Oh, foul tipped again. No, it was 2 years ago, and it happened at the, I think it was in the Chicago World Series. It was one of the Taipei bat guys. 23 times. Oh, and that struck him out. He doesn't like to start off a game like that.
So after those 23 foul tips, did he actually get on base or not?
Yes, he actually made it on base. He, like 10 of those, he actually had a run down. I mean, they were right on the line, right on the line. It was an endless amount of talking.
You know, I think after about 3 fouls, I think in all the running, I think I'd say, you know what, call me out.
He might have, but he was on top of it. The trick to this is not in the first couple innings you want to make good contact. After a while, your timing's going to start coming around. But if you have to give your chance to score, if you don't make contact with the ball, that's like a free out for the defense.
Grass a little wet, they could slow down the ball a little bit, which is only better for the defense.
Better for the defense here, and neither one of these teams are big hitting teams. You have Joe Bazan on the Boston Renegades. You're going to see him hitting the ball. He can hit the ball a ton. I haven't seen much of the Long Island Bombers this tournament, but they haven't scored a lot of runs. So, oh, he hit that one. That's not going to make it out of the foul box, though. Long Island Bombers are not one of those teams that are going to, score 20, 30 runs on you. Whereas either the Boston Renegades, neither one of these teams. And to get into the championship bracket, in which we have another game this afternoon, part of our doubleheader, you got to score at least 15, 20 runs, or you're just not going to make it.
It takes that to get there. Plus the fact your defense has to be stellar. That's why we'll see this afternoon some really good beat ball.
Oh, he drove that one. That was Frank Gehry. He drove that one out towards past Darren Black. It's going out towards Luis Marquez. He's not going to quite find it. They ran into each other, and a run's going to score. Oh, Evan Silver came over, ran into J.J. Ward. Evan Silver came over and ran into Darren Black. Kind of caused a collision. Ball was free, and a run scores.
We have seen some pretty nasty injuries. These are players that, whether they're running full force to the base or going after that ball, there's no shortcuts here. They just go full steam ahead, and if something happens, something happens. It's They sacrifice. This is a game you know you're going to risk your body on every play.
That was a well-hit ball by Frank Guerra. He hit it out there right in the zone between where the defensive deep player was playing, out there between Luis Marquez, past Darren Black and to the right of Evan Silver. Evan Silver came over to make the play. Darren Black drifted back and they collided. They're checking him out, make sure everything's okay. He got called timeout so he can turn around, readjust his head mask or his face mask, and now Darren Black, number 19, is going to be coming in, and 29, Evan Silver, is going to be going back to his position. So, minor injury, wiped it off, and they're up and ready to go. And Steven Guerra is going to be ready to hit here in a minute.
As soon as we get turned around. Still not quite set out there.
We have to have a special thanks to the Kent State Teleproductions crew to come down here and cover these games. They all volunteered their time. It was fantastic. Set all these cameras up.
It's just another wonderful experience that we're able to share with as many people as we can.
We were actually playing True Media today, though. We actually got to delay the game a few minutes, and we got to move the field to where it was more comfortable for the TV crew to set up. So I was pretty impressed with we have some media power going here with the television crew.
Yeah, I see you were pushing them around a little bit on Thursday, too.
People want games covered, you got to be nice.
As we mentioned before, now there'll be a timeout for the plane, although it doesn't look like they're quite ready to go. And we are just off the beautiful Ohio State University Buckeye campus here. And
that's actually the Columbus International Airport.
Is that Columbus International?
Columbus International, yep.
Because I know that the Ohio State Airport is right by here, too.
You'll get a couple of choppers from them, and that would be about it today. So, we got Steven Guerra up here. Steven Guerra, he's one of the board members of the MBBA, one of the outspoken members.
I think we need a couple more airports around.
You think? It depends on how long you want the game to last.
Except that one in Stowe they keep trying to close down.
They're going to close it.
Well,
I don't know how much we should mention about that.
Yeah.
This does go back to Kent State. This does tape before it gets put out, so we could be dogging somebody, and that might not be allowed. And James Shortino's ready. Oh, foul tip that one.
Right back to the catcher.
So, who else? I see how Ken Bailey, he's moved in, he's covering the line. Dave Horn's standing right on the line to watch the ball. Sometimes they don't have that coverage. That's pretty nice. Ooh, that one's going to make the 40-foot. It's just going to
stay fair. Nope, it went foul.
Just spun foul about a foot outside the line down there. Dave Lukowski, he's getting out there to make the call. Dave Lukowski did get voted as to be the head umpire for the games today. It was a pretty impressive little vote there. Most of the times Ken Bailey does it, but I guess, with a few controversial calls here and there, some people drop out of favor.
So who actually votes on that? The players?
I think the players and the umpires, they have umpire reviews, and they read the charts, and whoever has the highest score is the head umpire for that day.
That and a few bucks around probably doesn't hurt, huh? All right, we're set for the next pitch. And here it comes. Hits it. It goes. The pitcher has to get out of the way. Does it make it? Does not make the 40-foot arc. So he's got to come back. As you see, he made it about 35 feet towards the 100-foot base. Sometimes they don't get called soon enough, or you just can't tell, and they're already down at that base, and they have to come all the way back. And that's a good opportunity for them to let that ball go by and catch their breath a little bit, because this game pretty much tries to keep moving as much as possible.
Yeah, I was just chatting in here with our official scorekeepers back here, and they were kind of giggling about falling out of favor, but after each and every game, they have a umpire evaluation sheet. So, and the umpires read those, and what they do is they take that into account, and that's how they see who's going to be behind the plate for the championship games.
But the losing team will never have really good comments, will they?
Well, some of the winning teams didn't have very good comments today.
Fouled back.
So you have to, it's just like, the umpire makes a judgment call. Teams make a judgment call. So it just, Dave Lukowski, though, you'll notice about Dave, he gets out and hustles. He checks every ball. So he's a good hustler. Oh, he drove that one out towards the right-hand side. That's going out towards Joe Bazone. Joe gets by Joe Bazone. It's going down the ground. It's going to be a foot race. Who can get up first? Oh! And Steven Guerra scores a run. Joe Bazone went right by him. And that's Joe Quintanilla came over to make the play. And Joe Quintanilla looks like a little wet grip out there. Kind of slipped away from him.
Well, the grass is wet yet this morning, and a lot of times actually players will go down. And if had he gone down and laid down like many players do, that ball would not have gotten by him, and it really wouldn't have even been much of a contest. Another thing that we can mention is how these players, not only how hard they run, but how they just tackle that base, whether it be first or third. Seeing that thing completely come apart, sometimes you have to have a delay to fix the base, put it back together, and fix the base again.
I'm sure we'll see in these next couple of games, we'll see that the base will get torn apart and you'll see one replaced. So down here, we're down here in Tuttle Park, and that's going to bring to the plate Nick Esposito. Nick Esposito, number 49, bats from the right-hand side. Kind of a tall guy.
One thing these umpires aren't afraid to do either is to confer with other officials.
And most of the time they're supposed to do that. And I'm sure with a crew out there like that today, you're going to get a lot of conferring if it's a close call.
Swing and a miss for strike one.
And they're ready. Down here in Tuttle Park, right behind the Holiday Inn on Lane Avenue, as you were mentioning, we're right across the street from the Ohio State Stadium, the Ohio State, as they call it.
Yeah, I went over earlier this morning to see if Jim Tressel needed any help. He said thanks, but no thanks.
Cameron and I went over there late on Thursday night to see if he needed any help. Nobody was really there.
Swing and a miss.
We tried. We were going in to give our own play-by-play thing.
I'm sure Jim Tressel gets as much help, more help than he wants.
Yeah. You know, I had a president used to call in plays. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
President Ford used to call the University of Michigan and call in plays. And then they actually used one of his plays that he called in, and they lost 4 yards.
Good old Jerry.
Oh, that's right down the line. That's going to make it. It's past the 40-foot yard.
Will the player get there?
Darren Black got the ball. Number 19, Darren Black made the play. Came all the way over from almost the left side rover position to come to about that 50-foot mark where the ball quite just made it, stayed fair, and got the out on Nick Esposito. Number 19, Darren Black makes the play.
He kind of had to roll around. They really have to show that they have possession. If they've got to the ball, that doesn't mean they're going to get the out. They have to show that they are holding it, that they have possession. Sometimes I've seen them holding it, they're down on the ground, but they're on their elbows and they're holding it up to just even that much to show, yes, I have it.
The ball and they cannot pin the ball against their body. They cannot pin it against the ground. It has to be up off the ground, away from their body, with control. And now we have coming to plate Ronnie Matthews, number 6. Ronnie Matthews is a left-handed batter. He's got that straight back bat. Looks like kind of like a corkscrew twist when he swings.
Yeah, it does. Ask for his base check.
Yeah, catcher better watch out there. He's got a big broad swing there.
Yes, he does. There are a lot of batters I'd be afraid to be behind.
I didn't want to be the pitcher. Oh, he drove that one down the right field side.
It's going to be fair. He's got the distance.
Oh, just foul.
Ooh. We're not quite on that angle, but boy, he sure couldn't have been fouled by a foot.
And see, well, you got to look at it. Dave Lukowski's right out there on the line.
He's on the line, yes. That's a marker we could use here.
He stood right on the line. Dave Lukowski went out there and double-checked it just for himself. We did have two balls in the first 2 games that appeared to be foul at first, but after the ball stopped rolling, it was fair. And no matter where the ball, it was fair by about a foot on the inside of the line, and the umpire just goes, my bad. What are you supposed to do? He just goes, my bad. So, but that keeps Ronnie Matthews alive here. There are 2 outs, 2 runs in here in the top half of the first inning. This first inning seems like it's going a little slow. It always does to start us off, huh?
Yeah, well, everybody's trying to get into sync, both the pitcher and the batter and the fielders.
And the umpires, scorekeepers, and us. Well, I took a breath on that one. As Walt would say, it always takes a breath on those long fouls. I always say he just didn't like the sound of it.
The problem is when you take it on one that isn't too long, and then the next one you hit it is a long one, and you don't have much chance. Just take your time getting back to the base.
Uh-oh.
One had to turn away. Number 10.
That's J.J. Ward. J.J. Ward, number 10 for the Boston Renegades. Who's playing that left side over there? Did have to turn away. Spotter is going to go over and help him out there.
Had to wipe off his face, looks like.
Yeah, the spotter on that side's probably going to be... Let's see, it's not Brian Grillos. That might be Rob Weissman out there.
Fouls it right back to the official scorekeeper. An interesting thing I saw at a game earlier this week, Dave, is that he fouled it back, hit the box like that one did, where the other beat baseballs, and knocked the cork out, and we had a ball beeping inside there. We had to, they had to find the ball and stick a cork in it, sort of.
Yeah, but usually they use those old balls as practice balls to hit with. But you're right. Some other team will maybe walk up to start watching and drop their stuff, and a ball will start going off, and then you got to find it.
It's got to hit it. It's not going to make it.
Yeah, it's going to come here right back here by us. The catcher there.
Beep ball is actually
Don Fennick's going to make that down.
16-inch softball, a little larger than regulation size, with a beeping device inside.
Yeah,
Is rechargeable.
The Pioneer Telecom guys developed that little beeper. They actually purchased a regular softball, 16-inch one, like you said, drill it out, put the little speaker set in it, and go from there. Oh, struck him out for the third out, Ronnie Matthews there.
Pitch was a little high.
Good at bat for Ronnie Matthews, but after the top half of the first inning, the Long Island Bombers scored with Frank Guerra and Stephen Guerra, twin brothers, scored a couple of runs, so that puts them on top going into the bottom half, 2-0 over your Boston Renegades. And let's take a look out here to see what the defense is going to play for the Long Island Bombers, since you're going to have the Boston Renegades coming up here to bat. It looks like over there on the deep third, well, shallow rover, I don't know what you want to call him, in the shortstop position, looks like Frank Guerra. On the other side of him is twin brother Stephen Guerra. He's going to play in the two infield positions. Way out there deep will be number 49, Nick Esposito. Going across the outfield. On the other side, deep in the right field, looks like you're going to have, looks like Ronnie Matthews. And then way out in deep center, I can't really, and Braulio Thorne's playing the kind of the shallow center position. And deep center, that must be Jennifer Ash, since I don't see any, unless they have a designated fielder, but I can't quite pick up her number, so we're going to have to see when she turns around out there. And he drives that one out. Joe Quintanilla drives that out towards the right side. It's going to be a fair ball. Oh, it got by Nick Esposito. It's going to be and Nick Esposito could not get a hold of it. He was out there to make the play. Joe Quintanilla drove that ball out. By the time it got done rolling, it was about 100 feet, 110 feet. Nick Esposito couldn't come up with it. So, on their half, Boston goes ahead and scores a run there.
I think that is probably the most difficult defensive play to make right here, because it was right on the fair line, but just, right by the base. And that base is louder than the ball. And to distinguish between the two, it's easy to lose that ball when you're over by that base. And that has got to be the most difficult ball to try and pick up.
The base constantly buzzes, and the beep just goes beep, 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 beep. So you got to find it within amongst all the noise.
And we can hear the base from here. We can't hear the ball from here.
No, I can't.
So that means that, that base is pretty loud.
And this brings to play Joe Bazan. Joe Bazan had some big hits yesterday. He rips that ball down the right field line. Number 15, left-handed batter. He's up to bat.
Nice stance there.
He has a good swing. And your pitcher is going to be Dan Cotter. Caught by the coach, kind of player-manager coach here, is Rob Wiseman.
You let that first one go by. That's kind of odd. A lot of them don't let the first one go by.
He does all the time. He did that yesterday, yeah. I was watching those guys play yesterday. He hit that one right down the line. Oh, off Stephen Guerra's stomach. It's going out there, can't find it. Joe Bazan's having problems finding him. Oh, Joe Bazan makes it. So, Boston opens up their first two batters with, we got a player down. Joe Bazan just nicked the base as he was falling down, kind of like he tripped. Fell down pretty hard.
It's easy to trip over that base because that's what they're going for, is that sound.
He missed the base. I mean, he just tagged the base with his elbow as he was already falling down. So I don't know if he just dove at it and missed it wrong. But he's not getting up. And you got Ken Bailey over there taking a look at him. James Hodge. Dave Lukowski's going to take a look. And then Brian Grillo from the Boston Renegades is going to go over there and check him out.
This is my first look at the Boston Renegades. And we've gotten to see them. I think you've gotten to see them a couple times over the last 2 years, but this is my first look at them.
Maybe on that part we can get that number out there off that player in deep center. Gina Valenz is the spotter for Long Island Bombers. She's walking in. I can't see who's up there.
I haven't turned around.
Pretty steady out there. Tell her to call timeout and switch her mask. That'll be hurt. Boston Renegades need that guy. That guy can hit the ball.
He's up.
Oh, he's up. Joe Bazan is a hitter. I mean, that right there was a good roller, but I'll tell you what, he'll turn around and get one. Yeah, that's got to be out there, number 24, Jennifer Ash. So she's playing the deep center field position. You know, it's not that I know a lot about it, but I'm watching the teams hit the ball here. But the only one who hits the ball with any great authority out that far would be Joe Bazan, and he hits it towards right field. The ball is not going to roll out that far today.
Once again, the grass could have been a factor in the way he fell down and hurt himself. It just although it should be drying out pretty quickly here between the running and the sun out. It shouldn't take long for that to finish drying off.
So that brings to the plate Luis Marquez, number 24. He does play out in the deep center field position, or the left center field, I should say, the rover. And he'll be set. And James Hosh has the timeout out there. Number 23, Braulio Thorns, adjusting his mask. Now, Jeannie Valence, she's getting him spotted. Frank Guerra and Stephen Guerra playing in pretty shallow now. They got that infield position covered on either side. You got Stephen Guerra on the one side.
They are shallow.
And Frank, he's probably only about 60 feet. He's sucked right in behind that line. But that's a good way to play it because, you know what? I was watching Luis Marquez yesterday. He doesn't hit the ball real hard, but he has got a lot of speed. He's way over the top of that one. Dan Cotter missed a little low with that one.
Pitchers, the last thing they want to do is strike out their own batter. It's frustrating to them.
There is an award for the best pitcher-catcher combination every year. Last year,
Swing
Kevin Barrett and Marty Skutnik won it.
From Cleveland.
Yep. I enjoyed announcing Kevin Barrett. He's such an important guy to the sport.
Those balls are low for where he seems to want them.
And he's hit both his swings, if you notice, been right in the same spot.
Right.
So Dan's got to have to bring it up there a little bit.
That was the
right
pitch. Where his swing was. Yes.
Wow, you don't want to.
You never know. You know, it's easy for us to see.
Kevin Simpson's attitude is if you let one go by, he's going to bean you. He'll waste a strike just to hit you. Oh, Luis Marquez gets a free out there. So that brings up to the plate number 10, J.J. Ward.
Was watching the game, calling the game the other day, and out of their 18 outs, 9 of them were strikeouts. You want to talk about a frustrated team and a frustrated pitcher. That's nothing more frustrating than that. It's hard to get put out. It's a lot harder for all those strikeouts. And that's very uncommon here in the World Series.
Right. We did one on TV as well. But Kansas All-Stars had 11 strikeouts.
11 strikeouts.
And it was quite a long day. That's 11 free outs, and that was in the championship. That was in to send Taiwan. And Taiwan defeated them. Taiwan came in.
Taiwan is an extremely fast fielding team. They scramble all over that field, I tell you.
You're going to see some fantastic defense as well for Kansas and Taiwan as you mentioned. They're both quick teams. There's no free ball in the infield. Nothing gets by. And J.J. Ward just doing our own human rain delay version.
Actually, there's timeout in the field.
Somebody warming up their car.
Remember one time they had a classic car show out here, and they were, I don't know how long we delayed that game.
Especially on this field because we're right by the parking lot. So a couple other games you get away with.
I think somebody finally went up and said, "Hey, come on."
Yeah. I agree with that. So it is J.J. Ward to the plate, another right-handed batter here. There's one out in the bottom half of the first inning. It's all tied up now, 2-2. And we're going to start. Oh, he has a high swing there. He got underneath.
A very high swing.
Yep. Right over the top of that one.
Especially for as low as he's crouching down.
Let that one go by. Another good pitch, though, again.
That was right where he wanted it, yeah.
And the pitch. Oh, see, that was a nice high pitch again. He changed his swing.
He did, and he crouches down lower. He kind of, when the ball's coming, he kind of stands up and takes a higher cut.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good pitch there.
Yes.
Just missed that one. I think I almost heard pain on that one. And Frank Guerra, again, Frank Guerra is awfully close. I mean, I'm going to shake hands with Frank here in a minute. He's right there. Oh, there it was, a nice high pitch.
He's got the 40-foot, but look where they played him.
Look at Frank Guerra. Frank Guerra, number 33, comes in, makes the play.
He wasn't even about 40 feet away at best towards first base that he was running to, and then went down to tag the base and still missed the base. So.
Yeah. Well, Boston Renegades missed 2 bases yesterday just terribly during their game. One guy ran way out, had a controversial call on that one. And then Another Joe Bazan missed the base one time too, but he hit the ball so far he just came back and walked and touched the base. So it really didn't matter if he missed it or not. And this is the designated hitter, Rich Flint, coming to the bat here. Rich Flint kind of had a rough day yesterday. He didn't get any hits when he was playing, but he did all right.
Pitcher's only 20 feet away from the batter, and there's many a day that they go home with several souvenirs over their body from line drives.
Yeah, I was in between innings. I was talking to Timmy Hibner from the Oklahoma City Bombers, and he got hit a couple times yesterday. And he's got some bruises and some battle scars to prove it.
You got your Cleveland pitcher who wears about everything imaginable to man to protect himself. Swing and a miss.
He's a little late on that one. Rich needs to get a little timing up there.
And after some of the hits I've seen them hit off of him, I don't blame him.
Yeah, you get old Marty Skutnik standing about 10 feet away from you by the time they take
Oh
that strike.
my.
But you're going to see some big players here today, too. And here's the pitch. Oh, just underneath that one, just a little bit off. Dan Cotter, he's getting the timing down. I think by second, third inning here, I think we'll be starting to see some runs coming out, or at least some more defensive plays. If you look at it there, though, Frank Guerra on that last play, he got down, laid down like you said he should have on the first time, scooped the ball up, play was over. He charged, too, so he was only about maybe 45 feet by the time he stopped that ball.
Yes.
Oh, he let that one go by.
A lot of times letting the ball come to you, how many times have we seen that the ball bounces just before and then over the player, but it's something that you have to do. You give yourself more area to get that ball, to touch it, and then you know where it is pretty much.
Yeah.
I've seen people trap it too, which makes it pretty amazing to watch that ball get trapped in their legs. I saw Clary Gertley on a second bounce. She laid down, but the ball hit her. She closed her leg. She actually trapped the ball, reached down, scooped it up, and it was right there. That's an amazing play.
Last year, in one of the games, Dan Green from the Oklahoma City Bombers. See, we're gonna have time to tell you this story. In the actual game, gonna have time out on the field because of a plane. Ball was hit towards Dan Green. Dan Green plays kind of in the deep left field position for the Oklahoma City Bombers. So a ball was pretty well hit to him. Ball's beeping. Whatever they called his position. He took one step to his right. The ball rolled to him. He just put his mitt down and scooped it up, just like he was watching it the whole time. He took one step, scooped it up, and held it up. And it was like everybody looked at him like, because most of the times when you're out that deep, the players do get down on the ground. But I don't know what Dan Green was thinking. He just bent over and picked it up.
Dan Green is a tremendous fielder.
Yeah. And he has his whole family involved. His son was helping out this year catching and things like that. And Dan Green's another one of those people that the organization really needs. He supports the organization quite a bit for the MBBA. And you're set now. Dan Cotter's ready to go. Oh, he missed that one for the third out there. So they did plate 2 runs, though. Rich Flint came up to the plate, tried to get going on for the designated hitter. Joe Quintanilla and Joe Bazan both scored a run, so that makes the score after a complete 1 inning, 2-2. The Long Island Bombers are playing the Boston Renegades. All right, we're back here in the top half of the second inning at Tuttle Park. We're in the Consolation Championship game. Long Island Bombers versus your Boston Renegades. The batter, number 24, Jennifer Ash, is going to be leading off the second inning. James Shorentino is getting ready to pitch to her. Defense is pretty much packed right up the middle for her. They have probably all their players all right up the middle except for J.J. Ward. He's playing right on the third base line, right at about the 90-foot mark. And they're ready. Oh, she foul-tipped that one.
We talked about protection before, and he is wearing it looks like almost a catcher's mask.
Catcher's helmet, too.
Kevin Barrett, he wears about everything imaginable. Shin guards and Adam's apple protector. And
oh, yeah.
I'm surprised we don't see him out there with hockey pads.
Well, the catcher here has a hockey mask on.
Fouls it straight down.
Catcher here, her name is Dawn Fennick. She has a catcher's equipment on, or actually a goalie's mask on. So she's set. Oh, she drove that one up the middle. That's going to make the 40-foot. Darren Black's coming in. Darren Black's looking for it. Hit it with his knee. Still looking for it. Got it. Oh, and she missed the base anyways. Oh, that's not a good thing. Darren Black, number 19, comes in and makes the play on Jennifer Ash. She almost had a couple seconds there. He took a step over, hit it with his knee, but he found it before Jennifer Ash could make it. She missed the base.
And missing the base didn't help at all either for her.
She took that wide turn to the right there. Well, also yesterday they have a thing called a safety issue. If the player runs out too close to the ball where the ball's got to be fielded, on the lines you're going to get that because the bases are chosen at random. If the ball gets too close to where the fielder and the runner get too close, they usually call safety, 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 and it's the player's fault because they're running too close to the line and they automatically have an out. So I learned that as well yesterday because they had a Columbus Viper guy venture into the field. I mean, he went way into the field and the ball was hit his way and they waved it off and they called him out because he was actually, if you look at where Dave Lukowski is walking about 10 feet inside the line, he was making a big loop and it's exactly where, it's like he followed the ball when he hit it. So
Follow the ball instead of the base.
yeah.
And we have seen some terrible collisions, but not too many from the batter and the runner, and that's the batter and the fielder. That makes a big difference when everybody's running full force to get to the ball and to the base.
Yeah, we were just discussing also between the game as we were worried about the sun glare, and then we thought to ourselves, well, what are they glaring? All of them have masks on. I said, well, it's hard. We're going to get glared on, and we're not going to be able to see. So we're sitting here in the field. Home plate is facing right into the sun, and so all the players' backs are to the sun. If you're looking at that, we are facing straight east from our setup here in our broadcast booth that the guys from the Kent State Teleproductions have set up for us. And the pitch. Oh, Braulio Thorne rips that out towards right center field. It's going out towards, but he's going to make a nice play. Oh, he lost control of the ball. He had him.
He
lost control of the ball. Oh, Joe Quintanilla was in perfect position, got placed out there, laid down on the ground, brought the ball up, and lost control of it. That's what you're going to have with that wet ball out there.
With the wet ball, and he had him beat by a good 15 feet. But since he lost it, I think initially the call was going to go out, but as soon as that ball went down, he watched the runner and was called safe.
John Lukowski was all over, watching him very carefully. He brought the ball up like he's supposed to, but you got to control it.
He played it perfect, too. He just got there and got right to it.
So Braulio Thorne gets off the eggshells and gets a hit of his own here to join the parade. And now the score is 3-2. We're going to have a little timeout here for the plane to go by. But again, Braulio Thorne ripped that one out there pretty good. Joe Quintanilla was in perfect position. Got down, held the ball for a second, but didn't control it and lost it. You're going to notice that about the Taiwan team is they do very little movement. Once they have the ball, they just get it off the ground, and that is it.
Yes.
They don't try to hold it up. They don't try to say a lot of stuff. They just get the ball up in the air.
Well, the more you move it, especially in a situation where the ball is going to end up wet.
Exactly.
The more you move it, the better chance you have of losing it.
Yep. So, and the Taiwan team has really been prying. You'll see them just bend over and say, "Bull." They say, I don't know what the Chinese word for ball is, but they scream it out. So, and that brings to plate Frank Guerra. Frank Guerra got a hit the first time up, number 33. We saw him make a nice play. He's got a nice stance there. Oh, they're going to adjust him there. James Shorentino's got him adjusted. He's ready.
Looks like he's got a really good swing here.
He swings pretty hard. We'll see if they can start powering the ball a little bit. Oh, he drove that one out to a left side ball. Base going out there. Darren Black's over. See Darren Black get... Oh, Darren Black got control of it this time. Darren Black wasn't letting go of this one to get Frank Guerra.
And they played that one perfect. He just went down and got to the ball and held it up and showed possession and plenty of time before the runner could hit third base, which he was running to.
Yep, number 19, Darren Black, like I said, moved to his right. Got over there. Good spotting by Brian Grillo. Calls that number. Darren Black moved to where he was supposed to. And he's now reset. Now he's reset him again. Brian Grillo's got him set up right behind, well, probably about 60 feet right behind the pitcher here. Behind James Shorentino. Steven Guerra. He got to hit his first time up. Right-handed batter.
Interesting thing about I find about the home plate umpire is that, since he doesn't have to actually call what a strike would be, because you're trying to get them to hit it, that he puts himself on the opposite. If you're a right-hand batter, he's on first base side, a left-handed batter, hits this ball towards third base, plays it, hits him, goes down, and he picks it up, plenty of time, shows possession. A lot of times when it hits them or bounces off of them, or what's even worse is sometimes they reach for it and they kick it away or hit it away, and that usually means they're going to score, but this case it went straight down in front of him and he picked it up for that third out.
Yeah, that was J.J. Ward over there on the third base side, and you were right. He got down, let it hit him kind of cradled in his chest there, pulled it straight out. And you did see how Stephen Guerra did tackle the base over there, and it did come apart.
Did come apart. I didn't notice really before this year that they came apart like that. I've seen them go down a lot, but they literally come apart, and that's got to be also for safety reasons for the players.
You are correct. Hey, so the top half of the second inning there, the Long Island Bombers did tag on run. So the score now is 3 for your Long Island Bombers and 2 for the Boston Renegades, and we'll be back for the bottom half of the second inning.
We're back here at the bottom of the second inning, and first ball was hit for a foul, third base side.
We're doing exactly like TV. We're throwing an ad in there before we start talking. Kept talking over that. Evan Silver up to bat, number 29.
Need that red light to say camera's on.
Yes, exactly. Evan Silver, Rob Weissman's pitching to Evan Silver here. Evan Silver is the one that had the controversial call yesterday about missing the base completely, but the umpire raised his hands like he made it safe, so they called it a run. Yet he missed the base. So they had a whole stoppage of play. Finally, after all said and done, they gave him a complete new count, let him start over. Because he said, and the umpire actually said there when he raised his hands, but he missed the bag.
When he conferred, did they say that he actually hit it, or?
No, it didn't. Nobody really knew if he hit it or not. I thought he hit it, but he just might have grazed it. The problem was the umpire went there.
Swing and a miss.
And the umpire said he's there, and we're like, well, did he touch the base? And the umpire goes, well, I don't know. He just ran by the base. He can't say anything until he touches the base.
Right.
So it was kind of.
And that's his job. One job is to watch that base.
Yep.
Let that one go by.
In all sense, they are all volunteers. No one is getting paid out here to do any of this. They all volunteer their time.
Well, yeah, I meant to talk to you about your paycheck on that, Dave. It's a little deducted for your being here this week.
Might have been. I'm sure the boss is not seeing anything produced out of this. So they're quite. Okay, it's Rob Weissman. Rob Weissman is the alternate pitcher.
Swing and a miss. That's
some of the batters like certain pitchers. So that's Evan Silver. He struck out there. Start off the bottom half of the second inning. And Joe Quintanilla, we called Joe Quintanilla's number out there. He made a great play, but lost control of it on Braulio Thorns. He was in good position for it, but just couldn't quite keep a grip on it.
You know, Dave, you talked about how families are such a great part of this game, and I know in years past they've had a grandson that pitches to his grandfather, and not wanting to go back to the bench when he struck out Grandpa. It's
this year they had the Woodards. They had little Clint Woodard Jr. pitching to Clint Woodard, his dad. So for the Chicago Bluffs, and little Clint Woodard is only 12 years old. So it's quite a family affair out here, and you're going to see.
I think he was at the last year, wasn't he?
Yes, he was
as well, and pitching in. And actually didn't do a real bad job.
No, he's pretty good. I mean, the team's young and it's building. And the Chicago Bluffs, they play some pretty good tournaments. They don't do bad. Other teams that have played.
The thing is, being young is a great thing because it gives you the chance to grow into it.
Right.
And Taiwan, we've seen them progress from their first appearance at the World Series, and look where they are now, up into the championship game.
Yeah, they actually won the championship consolation game the year we covered them in Cleveland. That was actually the quickest game on record. Oh, Joe Quintanilla fouls that one off. Quickest game on record of 52 minutes. Pretty impressed with that game.
A broadcaster's dream and nightmare at the same time.
Yeah, went quick. No time for anything. They were done. But you're going to notice Taiwan hustles in and out. These teams hustles in and out between innings. It's pretty impressive here. They get them all out there and get them placed in position. After the next pitch here, we'll set your defense for you. Rob Weissman making sure that Joe Quintanilla is in the spot where he needs to be. I think the umpire, too, standing where he does, make sure the batter does not step past that box. See, we're going to have a timeout anyways because we're playing. So, yeah, the umpire also positions himself because the batter has to start within that area of the plate. Somewhere one of his foot have to be within that area of the plate.
We've seen where they have crept up and the pitcher creeps a little closer, and they watch it more, and certainly in this tournament, especially in games like this where they are really top-notch top-notch officials.
Yeah, this is important. So we'll set the defense for you. You still have Frank Guerra on your left side short and Stephen Guerra on your right side short. We have Nick Esposito out there in deep left. Ronnie Matthews is in the deep right position. Deep center field, you have your Jennifer Ash. And then kind of in the center rover position, you have Braulio Thorn. Braulio Thorn, he did rip that last one out there to Joe Quintanilla. He Was going to be out, but since Joe couldn't hold on to the ball, benefited from it. And you got Dan Cotter pitching to Rob Wiseman.
We talked about the timing between the catcher and the pitcher. When they practice, they don't have the beeper
No.
going. It's strictly just passing between the pitcher and the catcher and
Oh,
swinging.
he drove
it.
that one
Nice
towards the
hit,
left
but
field
it's
side.
foul.
It's going to be foul ball. Oh, but Nick Esposito got over there. Almost made the play on it anyway. He knocked it down. There he is. He hit that pretty well. Joe Quintanilla ripped that ball probably about right down the line. By the time it quit rolling, it was a good 100 feet, 120 feet out there.
It was, yes.
So he hit that ball pretty hard. They have him spotted pretty well. Nick Esposito was covering that line. He was right there, so see if Joe Quintanilla can follow that up and put one in play. They're cleaning off his cleat here, almost pulled him over.
Some of these teams really do a lot of research on their competitors and know where the individual batters like to hit the ball. And as we saw where they crept up a couple times, they know the players that can hit it and back up for those that they can't.
All right, so Joe Quintanilla, number 14, coming back to the plate. He's all ready. Rob Weissman says he's ready. They're set. Defense is pretty much ready. Oh, swung over the top of that one. Still got that free ball left. Steven Guerra, I think he's moved in a couple more steps now. Nick Esposito covering the line down the left field side.
Almost right on the line.
Yeah. I think he's over there holding hands with Ken Bailey.
Weren't supposed to tell.
I can see that. And we're still down here in lovely Tuttle Park, right behind the Holiday Inn on Lane Avenue. Oh, struck him out.
After that first hit where he drove it so well, but it was foul, and just a strikeout.
Right. Brings to the plate Joe Bazan, left-handed power hitter for the Boston Renegades.
He had a tremendous collision after the base, collision with the ground, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, he tripped over something over there. He'll line himself up. In between innings, we're also talking to Tim Hibner. Tim Hibner from the Oklahoma City Bombers is the pitcher for them. He was talking about that. We're talking about the home run distances and if anybody hit one. And he says no one's hit one.
No one has hit one, period.
Yeah. I mean, in practice, a lot of people have hit them, but that's practice. In the game time, no one has hit one. And they're thinking about bringing it in a couple feet, maybe to 170 feet, maybe.
Although it certainly would mean something to hit a home run. If you bring it in another 10, 15 feet, then you're going to get more home runs. People can have the home runs, but will it mean as much as when it's clear out there and you can hit it?
Right. It might not, but they might have to do the asterisk rule again.
Also, since nobody's hit it so far, there's no asterisk needed. But if someone were to hit it before they changed the rule,
right? And you got some big, got some teams that a lot of them, coming up here into the Ohio weather. You're looking at the deeper grass, slower moving, and it slowed the ball down. You get the teams from the Southwest, like the Texas teams and the Oklahoma games. They got some big hitters, and they put that ball on the ground hard, and it rolls a long way. They're used to get, as I was talking to Rusty Simpson, Kevin's mom. She is a big follower of beat baseball, quite a supporter, and she says it's totally different playing out there. It's like playing on a parking lot. She says we might as well play on a parking lot, but our team would do much better. Their teams are quick, and they hit the ball down and hard.
Well, even for us here in Ohio, this is an unusual, very cool, very moist, a lot of rain, and certainly a lot of dew here for August.
Right, and the grass is deep out here. Even though they cut it, they left all the grass clippings on the grass, so it's going to slow that ball down quite a bit today.
Which gives the defense takes at least a couple steps away from the runner.
So they got another buzzing plane coming by here. Dave Lukowski's still holding timeout. Rob Weissman's going to go over and get something new now. Oh, he's going to bring his Gatorade. Take a quick drink. So, called that timeout.
Jets almost.
Hopefully our counterparts in the radio broadcast booth took a timeout as well. I don't know if they'd run out of things. I don't know if Barb Bruno and Tom Cross will run out of things to say or not.
Never stops us.
Nope. And joining us right behind us is the president of the NBBA, is Doc Bradley. Doc Bradley, one of the great presidents of the NBBA. Helped this organization turn it around, I'd say. Quality president. Very few people. He's quite a leader in the
There's
boardroom.
certainly a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you just don't see about when you come out here to play a game, but to organize these teams and to get them to where they need to be to play. In some, like Kansas, it's a collection of players throughout the state.
Right, and they have actually 3 teams in Kansas, and they combine them all to the All-Stars to come play in tournaments. Which there's a couple, there's a team in Wichita, a team in Topeka, and I think, maybe there's 2 teams in Wichita. I'll have to get the exact on that one, but they combine them, so.
It's like Oklahoma City Bombers takes players.
Oh, and Joe Bazan lets that first one go by again.
As he did it again. I think that's his trademark.
Is it?
Like Casey at the bat there, you know?
I think he just pointed out there to right center. I think he's lining it up. See what he can do with this one here. Oh, big cut there. Changed his swing a little bit. He had a little uppercut with that swing.
Yes, he did.
So maybe if he...
And that's what his catcher's telling him right now.
Keep the swing consistent. Pitcher can't find you if you change your swing. I was doing that in between games last year, and Kevin Barrett was telling me, hey, just swing the same, I'll find you. And sure enough, he found me, and I hit one, but I wasn't running to the base because I wouldn't have found it. They're like, run to the base. I'm like, I don't think so. So they were laughing at me. We had a pretty good time.
Was out in the outfield once during the practice, and I picked up the ball, and actually what I didn't realize is they rolled the ball. I threw it over their head, and like 4 guys just fell to the ground, not knowing where that ball was going.
Yeah, you get a whole different perspective on what they go through every single day when you're out here playing with them. And you know what? They're great sports. You go out there, they're competitors.
And you are never going to find greater competitors than these guys.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, when it's over, they're fun guys to be with.
Oh yeah, I've spent a lot of time with them, and they're a lot of fun after.
You're not allowed to tell all the stories, though, Dave.
Oh no. Oh, that was a good swing there, good pitch. It came in close. Get that timing down there, he'll be set. Let me stand on there. So here, Joe Bazan still up the bat here, lefty. Oh, he hit that one. Nah, I don't think that's probably gonna go
foul.
Twist foul.
Yeah.
It's gonna come back towards us a little bit on the foul.
I don't think
side.
he quite made the 40-foot arc either.
Oh, that spin on it though, you never know.
Yeah, you said you saw one. Usually when they spin, they almost always spin out. You said you saw one that spun and went right back in.
And it actually stopped. I mean, the umpire goes foul ball, and he walked over and he goes, my bad. He did it twice, not once, but twice that day. Yeah.
Okay, that's why he is not behind home plate.
Well, and he is out in the field somewhere, so I will let you guess on which one that happened to.
No camera pointing.
If you follow our broadcast, you would know who it was. So maybe we'll say it in the next game. We'll see where he plays the next game. He's actually a great umpire. He's been around the game for a number of years, probably about 10, 15 years as well. And again, these umpires, even though they do, the MBBA, I think, does compensate them, give them a little bit of per diem to help them out. They do take their own money to travel here, their own time out, time off of work and everything else. So they volunteer their time, and a lot of, it's costful to come down here and cover. Just like, the teleproductions crew. They took, their department loaned us 3 people. Actually, we have 4 people today. They had a guy who lives down here. He's volunteering his time this morning on the game time here to help us out.
Interning with the State House News Bureau.
Yes. So I have to, my hat's off to them. Oh, they struck him out there. So no runs scored there in Boston's half of the inning. They had actually 3 strikeouts, which is not a good thing for the pitcher. He's not trying that. So after a complete 2 innings, it'll be the Long Island Bombers 3 and the Boston Renegades 2.
We are back for the top of the 3rd inning as we continue on in the 2004 Beat Baseball World Series here at Tuttle Park, just outside Ohio State University campus.
Behind the Holiday Inn on Lane Avenue. Throw in that little plug. They did cut some great discounted rooms for them.
I was going to say, they must have cut you a discount the way you're plugging them.
Hey, you got to plug. You have to plug the Union Savings Bank as well. They did a great job helping bring down the Taiwan team here. They put up quite a bit of money here to be a sponsor. Taiwan was going to come up a little short, and the Union Savings Bank did step in and help out.
Saw some wonderful signs inside welcoming the tournament and the players.
Yeah, those signs were brought to you by Meyer Foods, I'm pretty sure.
So they Discover Columbus signs there.
Yeah, this is Nick Esposito.
He's got the 40-foot, third base side.
Exactly, coming in. He's going to have trouble finding. He's going to be beating it. Oh, they couldn't find it.
But you know what? They got the 2 players, and they're all staying away from the ball, so therefore...
Wait, umpire's got to check it.
I think we may have to do this one again. The ball is not beeping. Knock the beep out of it.
Nope, it's beeping. Was
Is
laying
it?
speaker down. Couldn't find it. That's the odds you take there.
Yep.
Speaker down. We can hear it again here. Speaker down. Nick Esposito. That's like gambling there. He played the gamble. He got the ball to go speaker down. So that allowed him to score a run. Darren Black and J.J. Ward could not find it. In fact, the ball was right between them. They were kind of standing up, looking at each other. And on a dead ball, you got to be awfully careful because you cannot touch a dead ball or it's still going to be a run. If it's just a dead ball, umpire comes over, checks it, you get a brand new count and you start again. So Dave Lukowski went out there and checked it, picked it up, and sure enough, it was beeping away.
They couldn't find it anyway, so that they did what they had to do, which was stay away from it.
That's a run there. Long Island does start off the top of the third with a run. And comes up Ronnie Matthews, number 6, the lefty that plays out in right center field.
Straight across, but it fouls straight down to the plate and about 4 feet in front.
Yeah, Don Fennick's going to pick up the bat for him, hand it back to him. James Shorentino, number 1. He said he's been around beat ball. He took a break from it, he said, then he brought his team back. We've covered him a couple times here at the Viper Classic.
On this field.
Yes. So he did. Oh, we're going to have I see a plane coming over. Probably have a timeout here in a minute, right after this swing. Oh, did she just hit him? think she hit poor Ronnie Matthews with the ball. Oh, with the bat. And you're gonna need a timeout with the plane going over. This is an all East Coast game. They're calling it the ALCS. It's like Boston versus New York. I figure we might have some brawling in the bullpen later. Couple of fans jump the thing, have some brawling going on. Hey, you're getting quite a crowd here behind us here, warming up for the championship game. A lot of the teams come out of the hotels to support, a lot of local community people. Another big sponsor for the Beat Baseball here was the Columbus Sports Commission. They did quite a bit of help here, supplying number 1, the fields.
Pitch.
Ooh, just underneath that one. And
not a strong swing, but it is all the way around, and the ball does only have to travel 40 feet to be fair.
He's got the speed, though.
He's got the speed, and they're not playing him very shallow, so he's been known to hit this ball, obviously.
Yeah, I think Darren Black, they've moved him in a couple steps there. He's playing
But there's nobody on the third base side at all.
Right.
Well, now he just moved up a couple.
I think he's listening to us.
He must be.
Or at least the coach is, so. Rob Wiseman's replacing his players, talking to Brian Grillo. Brian Grillo out there spotting for the Boston Renegades. Boston uses the one spot. Well, they use the 2-spotter method, but the 1-spotter just helps them out a little bit.
Right over.
That's out towards Luis Marquez.
Base.
Luis Marquez and Evan Silver. Oh, Darren Black comes all the way back from his right-hand position, moves to the left side, a little deeper, had to go back and find it. Luis Marquez and Evan Silver collide in the outfield, but Darren Black makes the play.
Just had a good ear for that ball because he really had to go back for that one.
He did. He had traveled he probably traveled 50 feet over there to get to that ball.
There were players closer, but he just didn't have a good ear on it.
No. And Luis Marquez was kind of caught out in no man's zone, and Evan Silver came over and they ran into each other. So that brings to the plate Jennifer Ash. Jennifer Ash showed she had some speed going down there that first time. Darren Black made the pickup on her, but she made it close. There was no gimme there. I think she missed the base a little bit too.
That's the important thing that, I think they feel better. I mean, they'd rather get the run, but they feel better getting put out than striking out, that's for sure.
Make contact. Got to make something happen. If you don't make contact, you can't make anything happen.
The airport is busy this morning.
Some of the other teams, you have to look at all the teams that traveled from afar here. You had the Houston Bayou City Heat. They were the 2002 World Champions. You had the Chicago Comets came down as well. The Chicago Bluffs. Kansas All-Stars who were in the game. Taiwan Home Run. No one traveled very farther than them. Columbus Vipers who hosted the tournament. Cleveland Scrappers who placed their highest they've placed in quite a number of years. They're going to get 3rd. And that brings Jennifer Ash to the plate. Jennifer Ash, number 24.
Who eliminated Cleveland yesterday?
Kansas did in the semifinal game there. Oh, she just swung over the top of that one. Yeah, Cleveland Scrappers got on a roll. They defeated some top-notch teams.
And they're not a real fast team, so they must be doing it with their defense.
She
nice
hit that
head.
one out towards the right side, going out towards Joe Bazan. Joe Bazan made the wrong move first. Darren Black's looking for it. Darren Black is gonna. Oh!
Safe.
Darren Black did not get control in time. He called on the ground, and Jennifer Ash gets a hit. Wow, Jennifer Ash hustled that one out to get a hit.
That's where the speed counts. You know, you don't only have to hit it so far, and he did have to crawl over to there. He found it, but he just couldn't get possession of it, or
Joe
couldn't up
Bazan
it.
was there. I don't know why Joe Bazan was waiting on. Maybe Joe Bazan got something and just lost it, but Darren Black was moving over towards it, but Joe Bazan was in a better position. I don't know why Darren Black called him off. And Frank Guerra is going to come to the plate. He's 1 for 2. He's hit a really nice shot the first time up. Second time, Darren Black made the defensive play on him. Brian Grillo's got his people spotted out there. He's pretty happy with that. They have Darren Black's playing right there on the left-hand side. Evan Silver is directly behind him, not very far away. Just to Evan Silver's right, you have Luis Marquez back a little bit, and then J.J. Ward covering that left field line. Joe Bazan's all alone out on the right side. And Joe Quintanilla is kind of covering the center field position by himself, so that right side's wide open.
Swing and a miss. Good, healthy cut.
Yeah, Frank Guerra's really getting around on that one. Maybe they got him to play the pull here.
It's like I like to say, it's not if they hit the ball, it's when they hit the ball. It's going to go a long way.
Gets his money's worth, as we used to say. And he hits that one out towards the left side.
It's not going to have the distance.
Well,
it's got the distance, and it's fair.
Oh, and he gets him right there. That was the rolling beat baseball bunt, kind of flighted up there. Ball landed about 42 feet. Darren Black came in, made a really nice play on him.
It's one of those balls I really thought was going to spin out, and it just hit there and
Little
spun in place, and that's where it stayed.
Yeah,
it didn't do much moving after that.
So we're having the all Darren Black inning here. He made the first out. Got a couple runs in there, and he's made this second out, and that brings Stephen Guerra, who is 1 for 2 as well.
Leading him back to his bench.
And
Bombers on third base side, and the
little technical problem with the base there. Like I said, he tackled it, ripped it apart, so they turned around and had to recheck it. Dave Horn, one of the umpires, is straightening it out. It's important that they have the speaker facing them, too. They always check that.
Boston Renegades sitting behind the first base.
And Boston Renegades are sitting on the first base side. That is correct. Long Island will take the third base side. Kind of opposite, though. The home team is supposed to take third base side.
You don't know who the home team is till you flip the coin, though.
Right, and these guys came out and they wanted their own positions. Oh, he ripped that one down. Going to be foul ball, squibbling off towards the Long Island Bombers bench. Other teams that travel for us, Indianapolis Thunder, they travel quite a bit of ways to get here. They come to almost every Columbus Viper tournament. We saw them in the Cleveland series. So they're coming around as a great team.
Austin is here.
Austin Blackhawks have traveled this far.
Houston, Bayou City Heat.
Yep.
Hits this one, but it is foul instantly.
Rolled right down the right field line. Houston, I think, is from the unofficial word that I heard from Doc Bradley. Houston will be hosting the 2005 World Series down there in the, we should call it Houston Humid City, but you know it's going to be quite the scorching experience down there.
Plenty of sunscreen, Dave.
I think so. I think I needed it this time. We had lots of sun, hardly any clouds today. Oh, swung through that one. Oh. Watch out there, catcher.
Well, she moves like those guys, doesn't she?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Those guys can't see. I don't know whether they're picking up the bat. I think I'd grab the bat first, then pick the ball up.
Watch who you're pushing, sister.
That's right. Lets that one go by.
Seemed a little high for where he swings.
I'm pretty sure that Dawn Fennick there, that is Stephen Guerra's fiancée. So it's another family affair coming into play. She helps out quite a bit, helps the other. Oh, swung underneath that one for the third out. Struck him out there, but
very productive inning.
The Long Island Bombers put 3 more on the board, and that brings their lead up to after the top half of the third inning. It'll be the Long Island Bombers 6 and your Boston Renegades 2. Time the afternoon championship game rolls around, it'll be noon. Lots of people will be coming in and out, and like you said, they've had news crews, TV crews. There have been a couple stories in the Columbus Dispatch about it. So, and a lot of people in the evening have seen teams out here practicing. They've been using Tuttle Park to practice in the evening, so a lot of people seeing what's going on with them, and it's been pretty exciting. Who's going to be leading it off here? Luis Marquez. He is 0 for 1. In the bottom half of the third. It's not bad, though. 10 o'clock. All right, here we're starting out the bottom half of the third inning. Luis Marquez is going to be leading us off here, number 24. Number 24, Luis Marquez is 0 for 1. Rob Weissman's catching. Dan Cotter is going to be pitching. Defense is pretty much the same. Nick Esposito is way out there in left field. Frank Guerra is right here, right behind Dan Cotter. Right next to him is Steven Guerra. Steven Guerra's covering him. Ooh,
swing and a miss.
Swung over the top of that one. Steven Guerra moved in a couple steps there. He's covering that right side. Backing him up is Ronnie Matthews. Ooh, another swing and a miss. Ronnie Matthews is out in deep right. I don't know why they're so deep. And Braulio Thorne covering that center field position.
Been swinging consistent. The ball's been a little bit underneath his bat each time.
Bring that around.
There you go.
Right on spot there. That one out towards Ronnie Matthews. Ronnie Matthews is down. Oh, it got by Ronnie Matthews. Ronnie Matthews still looking for it. Oh, and he scores. Luis Marquez ran another kind of a roundabout way
to get to the base, too.
But he's quick enough to make up for it. You notice how quick he is.
That's where that speed.
Towards it.
So you don't have to hit it far. And he hit it a good piece on that one, but I tell you what, he is fast.
Yeah, Ronnie Matthews had a little trouble finding the ball out there. The ball got by him, and then he turned around to get it, and he was heading in the right direction, but couldn't get down quick enough to pick it up. That ball went out there about 100 feet or so out there on the right-hand side by the time it got done rolling. That's going to bring to the plate J.J. Ward.
Nice thing about these two teams, they don't do a lot of delays and stalls. They get up
play.
and they play.
They play.
Some teams really kind of seem to want to specialize in stalling the game where they can and to try and throw the opponents off. But the fact is, they sometimes as much take themselves out of rhythm as much as the defense.
Yes, it does. So Dan Cotter now is going to be pitching to J.J. Ward. We have called J.J. Ward's name number once here. He made a couple nice put out there on Steven Guerra. And the pitch. Oh, he's got a big high swing there. Ball was way underneath it, though. So, now, Frank Guerra, again, I think I'm going to reach out and just like shake Frank Guerra's hand. He's right up here.
I wonder where you were going to go with that.
Yeah, it was a shake his hand, shank him or something. Oh, a little late on that one. And Nick Esposito still pretty out there deep in left field. Braulio, he's right there, about the 90-foot arc. He's ready to go. Oh, that was a good pitch there, too.
Was a good pitch.
Just a little bit over the top of that one.
Catcher's directing him. There you go.
He's ready now.
The catcher is just as important as that pitcher because it helps both the batter and the pitcher position themselves.
That was a good pitch there. That was the first high pitch he could actually get a hold of.
Yeah.
I think Dan Cotter's getting it down now, though. Putting on some runs here. Nobody out. Bottom half of the third. 1 run in. Boston looking to cut into that lead a little bit here. Pitch. Oh, that was a high pitch. Nice drive.
Nice.
Right towards Braulio Thorne. Past Braulio Thorne. Out towards Jennifer Ash. Jennifer Ash kind of misplays a little bit, but Jennifer Ash is going to get it up. Oh, not quite controlling it out there. J.J. Ward making up a little time there on the base pass. Hits the ball over Braulio Thorne. Out towards Jennifer Ash. Jennifer Ash couldn't get a beat on it in time, and J.J. Ward scores.
That really was quite a hit considering that he swings so high instead of cutting up. He really has a high swing, and yet he was really able just to hit the right part of the bat, and that went sailing. And down in the, if the ground were harder, that would have been over on the field beyond that. But as it was with as much moisture as we've had and the grass as high as it is, it's was almost playable. Not quite, but almost playable.
He hit the ball pretty good. He hit the ball on a button there. He got it out there. Oh, he got it over Braulio Thorne. And Braulio Thorne's playing a good 90, 100 feet away. So he hit that pretty good. Oh, Rich Flynn a little late on that one. Nice pitch. Ball was right there. Bat was there. He's just behind it. Rich Flynn,
Getting
big
some direction. This is one of the more vocal catchers that we've seen.
Yeah, he'll keep him in line there. Rob Weissman, he was very enthusiastic about the whole game. Very helpful. Oh, hit that one. That's going to be a
It's
slow
not-
roller.
Will it have
That's
enough
going to be
distance?
close. Oh, he got him. He was right there. Frank Guerra was right at the 40-foot line, made the stop.
And he was about
Got Rich.
45 feet, and he was out.
Yeah. I don't even think, yeah, he barely got 3 steps past us. So Rich Flint gets put out by Frank Guerra, number 33, for the first out of the inning. That brings to the plate Evan Silver. Means Evan Silver comes to the plate, and Rob Wiseman goes out to pitch. Like you said, it's all a timing thing, so the pitchers like to know, the batters like to know each pitcher, and some of them prefer certain pitchers. So obviously Evan prefers Rob Wiseman. Takes a couple quick warm-ups here. A lot of times, too, if the game's dragging on, they won't give him that warm-up pitch in between. They'll make, hey, you switch, it's your own problem.
But they only gave him 1, too. It's not like they're letting him delay the game.
No.
For a base check.
Evan has a little problems finding the base once in a while. He missed the base thing. He had that roundabout way today, too, so we'll see what happens here. A lot of times these guys get a sinus infection. It affects everything. And here we go. Oh, he swung underneath that one. He's a little behind with it, too. Hey, still got Steven Guerra and Frank Guerra playing right in close. No slow rollers getting by. Oh, way low.
Yeah.
Yeah, his team's telling him, get that ball up a little bit for Evan. Evan's a pretty tall guy.
He likes a tall swing.
Dan Cotter's giving a pretty high strike zone here. Oh, there was one.
Oh, there you go.
Drove
That's
that one
fair.
out towards Nick Esposito. Ooh,
He
Nick
ran the
Esposito.
wrong way. He ran the wrong
It's
way.
going to be a close play, though. He's looking for it. Oh, he got. Oh! Bang, bang play. Bang, bang play. Nick Esposito lost the grip on it at first, regained control, but not before Evan Silver touches the bag for another run. So, and now the score is going to be 6-5 here in the bottom half of the third inning. Boston Renegades are putting themselves right back in the game. No, with only one out here. That brings to the plate Joe Quintanilla, who is 1 for 2. Doesn't get any easier for Long Island. Lots of hitters after them.
I noticed there was a little bit of hesitation when he got down towards the base. He didn't want to miss it again, so he really kind of hesitated, which, again, that took a step away. That it made it a lot closer of a play than it could have been.
Yeah, and if he actually would have gripped the ball right the first time or got a hold of it the first time, I think he would have been out, but gave him that extra step. And say Dave Lukowski was right out there for the call, and Ken Bailey was right there. Hands went up. The player was safe, though. Umpire will tell you there are no ties, but if there is a tie and everybody says it's a tie, it actually goes to the out.
To the defense?
To the defense.
Because at that point, I think it's a little tougher. As tough as it is to hit that ball with a blindfold on,
Yeah.
it's got to be that much tougher to do some fielding.
Oh, he's a little behind that one. They have Nick Esposito and everybody in the right position. Spotters have him in the right position.
He kind of moved to the wrong direction, and that was enough to make the difference on an easy out, I think.
Yes, he took a step to the left, but couldn't quite get back in time. Oh, he drove that one. That's going to be that 40-foot mark. That's in there. That's in there. And he gets him. Oh, my gosh. Frank Guerra comes from nowhere. Actually stopped the ball. It could have rolled foul if he would have kept it going. But he stopped the ball, and he got it out before the thing even, he didn't have it step rolling. That was a great play by Frank Guerra to get Joe Quintanilla on that. So Frank Guerra, number 33, is making a bid for that defensive player there. I think that would have rolled foul if he didn't get over there and
I think
stop
it would have been foul, absolutely. It just, or maybe he was knocking him because he kind of slid to where the ball was, but I think it probably would have been foul.
Yeah, he is on that defense. And this brings up the power hitter for the Boston Renegades, Joe Bazan. There's 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third inning. They've plated 3 runs. Number 15, left-handed Joe Bazan. He stands way up in that batter's box.
We've got ourselves a nice close game now.
Yes, we do. 6-5, can't beat that. A nail-biter, as we would say. So, now they're going to pull Nick off the line just a little bit more. They still have Ronnie Matthews, still pretty playing.
For being a power hitter, they're not playing him real deep.
And I saw him smoke a couple out to the, as I would call, the parking lot shot. Oh, there's that signature.
There's Casey at the bat. That's what we ought to call him.
Yeah. I think he pointed again. Double check that one. And he's ready. And the pitch. Oh, good cut there. He was right on it. Just a little bit off. Got Luis Marquez on deck and standing in the on-deck circle. We're talking to him here. You've got quite a support from the other teams that come out and watch all the games. Oh, he hit that pretty good. It's up in the air. It's going to make the 40-foot mark, but just barely.
No, it did not make the foot because it was fair. It was in fair territory, so it did not make the 40-foot arc.
I didn't hear. I only heard the teams call foul ball. Who the heck else called? And I tell you what, Frank Guerra, he came all the way over from the left side to make that play. Steven Guerra didn't move.
That's one thing that the teams do like to help in the officiating, don't they?
Yeah, you just have to, I think the umpire, which Dave Lukowski pretty much knows, distinguish between who's yelling what and what. But the players, the problem with theirs is they have to dump.
Right.
And they can't see anything, so. Gets a count from Dave Lukowski there with 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, timeout there. Jeannie Valens calls timeout for her team. Rob Weissman, he's giving them a little encouragement here. Ask them, are they hungry? They want some more runs. So, there's actually 14 teams participating in the World Series this year. It's a pretty good turnout. They have quite a setup. The tournament committee here in the Columbus area has quite a setup for the World Series. They did quite a bit of work, all the bases and everything.
Well, the first day is a round robin. That's distinguished the two different, what they call the winner's bracket and loser's bracket. And this is the top of the bottom bracket.
This is the consolation bracket.
Consolation bracket. Not good to say losers. I apologize for that.
They might. I said it quite a number of times just and I was corrected quite a number of times. So I'm like, the loser. Nope. I'm sorry. The consolation bracket. So
political correctness can go too far sometimes.
It can. I mean, these guys understand it. We call it the barbecue game because, you know.
Well, that's what we were told the first time. I think somebody was joking with us, and ever since then we've called it that, and I think it's kind of stuck.
Yeah, we call it the barbecue game because I say on the first day these teams got barbecued, so they might as well be cooked on the last day. And here it is. Joe Bazan up to plate now. Lefty. Timeout's over. Rob's giving him the target. Dan goes to pitch. Oh,
hits it.
Hard
line drive.
Oh, Ronnie Matthews isn't going to get to that. Joe Bazan's taking a pretty good rig. That ball's rolling down it there.
That ball just now stopped.
Yes, it did.
He hit the base before that ball stopped running.
Joe Bazan, I told you he hits the ball hard. If that ball ground was any harder, I think it'd still be going. He drove that one in there.
Had to help him up off the ground on that one, too.
He
does everything hard.
They tied this game up. Bottom half of the third inning, they tied the game up. And that brings up the plate Luis Marquez. Luis Marquez is 1 for 2. He did have a nice hit last time.
I think you mentioned between the innings. Now, one of these teams has not lost a game yet in this bracket.
Nope, Long Island Bombers have not lost a game at all. Boston Renegades lost the opening game in the consolation bracket.
And then went all the way.
And then climbed back through it.
Well, as they did here, they started the game behind, and now as their timing is getting down and tied the game up, and if they should win, there will be another game in the consolation bracket.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have to move it to another field because they have the championship game on this field. Dave Lukowski gives Luis Marquez his base check. Dan Cotter's ready to pitch now. And the pitch. Oh, hit that one. That's going to go 40 feet.
Pitcher gets out of the way.
Oh, and there's Frank Guerra again. Frank Guerra, I think we had an all Frank Guerra inning there. For the third inning, he made 3 putouts there. Frank Guerra for the Long Island Bombers, right there in the short fielder's position.
But we have a whole new ball game.
You are correct. After a complete 3 innings, since the Boston Renegades plated 4 runs in that inning, it is Boston Renegades 6, Long Island Bombers 6. All right here. We're back. Nick Esposito is going to be leading off the top half of the 4th inning here for the Long Island Bombers. He is 1 for 2 at this point in time.
It's a low stance there.
Yeah. Oh, nice swing, though. He's got a nice compact, good, tight, quick swing there. He gets right around on it.
Fouls it off of himself.
Hey, lots of people have come out now, quite filling in the crowd here. Consolation game. It might seem unimportant to somebody, but these games are all big. And you're going to have here Nick Esposito's up to the plate. James Sciolantino pitch. Oh, he's going to drive that one out to about the 40-foot mark. Darren Black's down on the ground taking a look for it. Darren Black has got the ball up in the air. Nick Esposito missed the base, though. I think he would have been out anyways, but he still missed the base.
It could be that he heard that it was already out.
So Nick Esposito starts off the inning by hitting one to Darren Black for the first out.
It's easier to slide and not hit the base than to trip over it and knock yourself on the funny bone. And I think that may have been what he did there. He already heard that it was out, but you can't just stop.
No.
You got that momentum going as fast as they give it up their all. You can't just stop, and that's
we don't want them going too far to the right. They'll hit our poor cameraman Jason over there. Hey, I think he could hold his own, though. He might be all right if they ran into him. I might worry about Dan Tonelli, though. Dan's not as buff as Jason. So Ronnie Matthews is going to be up at the plate there.
Dan doesn't look too happy on that call, Dave.
Okay.
You're buff, Dan. You're buff.
That's right.
Look at that muscle.
You're wiry.
Look at that muscle.
How's wiry?
Look at that muscle.
Wow.
Give me the magnifying glass.
Should we zoom in on it? Hey, Dan. Dan, there's some strings hanging from your shirt. Oh, that's your arms. Sorry, man.
Great. Now he's going to zoom on us. Thanks a lot. All right.
Now we have Ronnie Matthews up. Ronnie Matthews is 0 for 2 right now. He K'd the first time up and hit one to Darren Black.
Oh,
he drove that
hits
right
the ball.
up. Oh, that's out towards Luis Marquez. Luis
right
Marquez
in between.
is down him. Luis Marquez has got the ball. Oh, and Luis Marquez comes up with it. Even though Ronnie Matthews showed some good speed there, Luis Marquez scooped over from his left side there, made the play and controlled it to get Ronnie Matthews.
One thing we neglected to say, we saw the pitcher get out of the way. Of course, he doesn't want to get in the way of the play, but if the ball touches him, it's a dead ball. Yeah. And you redo that, not the whole at bat, but certainly that particular pitch. It's a no pitch.
Right, it's just didn't happen, except for the pitcher knew it happened because he got hit by it.
Right. But he was able to get out of the way, and I tell you what, being 20 feet away, that's a dangerous spot to be. I mean, you and I have both seen some. I think I saw one pitcher get knocked out of the game. It was that hard, that fast, that quick, and he didn't even have time to turn sideways.
Saw a couple line drives last year, catch a pitcher or two. For one of our next game, we're going to have a pitcher for the Austin Blackhawks help do some of the commentary. Probably be joining either Dave Binkley to do one of the commentaries for the game. He'll give you quite a few colorful insights to all the players and why they get nicknames and such. Even though you're going to have a pronunciation gap there with the Taiwanese team, and we'll see what we can do.
I have to see if I can find my notes from Thursday. Took some time taking some notes. And
you're going to see quite the... And Jennifer Ash is at the plate now. Oh, she fouled that one off.
Scored her last time up.
Yes, she did. She is 1 for 2.
And was, in a close play, put out her first time it up.
Yeah, we're looking at pretty much an all Darren Black game here. Darren Black's made quite a few plays, including the one on Jennifer Ash, her first time up. And speaking of Darren Black, he's going to put his hand up for the timeout. He did. And spotters are moving Luis Marquez out there. He's going to bring him in a lot more. Now here is a defense that I would expect for Jennifer Ash. She didn't hit the ball real deep last time, just placed it in between them. But everybody is within the 90-foot arc here. Spread out Joe Bazan, Joe Quintanilla is all over there on the right side. Darren Black right up the middle. Evan Silver with him. Oh, she hit that one right up the middle. Up towards Darren Black. Darren Black's on the ground. Darren Black, he found the ball, brought it up. Again, Darren Black makes the third out. So, in that inning, 3 up for the Long Island Bombers, a 3 down, a no-run score.
I think the pitcher may have wanted to let the ball hit him that time.
Yeah, sometimes.
I thought it did hit him, but obviously it didn't. But
that's an automatic out if he intentionally hits it. I saw that yesterday. They kind of questionable. It was going to be a foul ball, and he kind of just sauntered away from it very slowly, and it hit him. And they were going to call an automatic out, but they let it slide, and it was questionable. So, but after the top half of the 4th inning, the score is 6-6. Long Island Bombers playing the Boston Renegades. Yeah, he didn't move out very fast. Just let it hit him just like that, and everybody shook their head. And it's an automatic out. The umpire can say, you're out, even if it was going to be a foul ball or not. So they have to let that ball stop rolling completely. And if they can get out of it, they have to make all attempt to get out of the way of the ball.
moving the mic around. Right on the heads there. I gotta watch where I put that
I hang right down there.
that cough switch.
You can't hear anything but us. That is so cool. I'm like, it's all about me, baby. All right.
Back at the bottom of the fourth here at Tuttle Park for the 2004 Beat Baseball World Series. In the consolation bracket, this is the championship game.
Yes, it is. And I just mentioned we're behind the Holiday Inn on the Lane Avenue. Hey,
How much money did they pay you to say this?
They were quite a great sponsor for the NBBA this year. I mean, they set them up for the Viper Classic. They set them up for, obviously, the World Series here at Tuttle Park.
And they must have set you up for a couple in the bar, too.
Hey, I have to say that her name is Luba Estaki, is fantastic. She has been a great host here at the Holiday Inn. Gave special parking for our broadcast van, as we call it. It was quite the setup we got rolling. She gave us a couple rooms, and she made sure that everybody was taken care of.
The broadcast van, you mean that city bus you drive out here?
The city bus. Actually, that's my dad's bus. I should mention thanks to him, too, because we did get a nice ride with that.
Lets that one go by for ball.
J.J. Ward let that one go by. He is 1 for 2 right now. Hit one to Bayou Thorne, and they scored a run himself. Frank Guerra's moved in a couple steps. Steve Guerra's right there as well. Oh, over the top of that one. Got a full count here. And they're set. Yeah, we might have to take the broadcast central van down to Houston next year. Bring all our equipment.
Might be a tough sell, huh?
It might be. It's got some air conditioning in it, though, so. We're actually using it for power now, is what the whole idea behind it was. Oh, he drove that one up the middle. It's going to make the 40 feet. Oh, Frank Guerra right in front. He came all the way over from his left-hand side. Frank Guerra all the way over from the left-hand side, got in front of his brother Steven Guerra and made the play.
Dropped right down, trapped it right between his legs, and picked it up for a very easy out.
You know what? Of all the putouts for the Long Island Bombers have been made by Frank Guerra. If you count them out, every play except for when they struck out have made by Steven Guerra.
It's the short ball, or your unintentional bunt, as you say.
Yeah, beat baseball bunt is what I was calling it. But he is in it. He is on all over that. He's played some tough defense. So.
Which is why they are undefeated in this bracket.
Undefeated in the consolation bracket, you are correct. And that brings to play Rich Flint. Rich Flint's a big guy. Like I said, I don't know if I'd want to owe him money. He's pretty big.
Or meet him in a dark alley.
Yeah, exactly. Big right-handed. Oh, swung
Swing
right
missed.
through that one, yeah.
But it was a nice swing, so you got to compliment us. So when he sees us, he doesn't come looking for us afterwards.
That's right. They might see this. And he's going to set himself. Danny Cotter lining him up. Rob Wiseman's ready to receive. Oh, hit that ball. That's going to make it to 40 feet as well.
Got to run to first base.
Frank Guerra again. I think Frank Guerra is playing with a vengeance today. He is made. That is the third put out in a row, and it is the fourth put out in 5 batters that he's made.
They're going to be wanting to check his mask pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, you know what though? They can do that. That's any team can request a mask check or a site check, and actually they have to bring eye certification cards to play in this tournament. They have to be, certified. I don't know what the level of vision is that is allowed to play, but they have to have an eye certification card that will be allowed to play in the tournaments.
Or to be an umpire. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
I think that's what the team says. They said nothing. I have talked to a few umpires here and again, and they said nothing more humiliating than a blind guy calling you blind. And you're just amazed. It's just the competitiveness that these teams bring to this tournament. I mean, you see a little bit in the regular tournaments, but the World Series, it's a just different level of competitiveness. So.
And a far better level of umpiring you're going to get.
You are, because they all go to a class, they all learn it, and they all wear a sweatshirt.
They all have to be certified.
Yep. NBBA, the National Beat Baseball Organization. Oh, Evan Silver swung right through that one.
For more information on Beat Baseball, they do have a website, www.nbba.org. O-R-G.
And that website is created and hosted and
swing and a miss.
upkept by Kevin Simpson, which all the games will be available. They'll have a link to our website,
We have the games. It'll be in MP3 format that you can download or stream right through your computer, listen to, put on disc. A lot of these players do take the discs down, listen to them, and one person said, well, he falls asleep every night listening to the ball games.
So that's a kind of a good bad thing.
Yeah.
Good that they downloaded and want to listen to it. Bad that they fell asleep during it. So we actually do, and that's actually 99% in thanks to Dave Binkley. He does put all the games together and it makes them available on our website. He does a lot of work back at the studios for that. I mean, I get to sit there and talk on the radio, but Dave Binkley does put them all together. So kind of makes it sound good here. We like that. And then,
of course, you could catch those games if you want to go to wcrsradio.org and go to the Beat Baseball section. You'll find some games from last year, and certainly very soon this year's games will be up there.
You are correct. And and now we're back with Evan Silver up to bat here. Oh, he drove that one.
That's a
just
good
past
hit.
Frank Guerra. It's going out towards Nick Esposito. It's going out towards Jennifer Ash. Jennifer Ash overran it. And Evan Silver is going to score.
Just now getting to the ball.
Yeah. Jennifer Ash kind of came in a little too quick on that one, and it got by her. She was at the right depth, but she took too many steps in, and the ball got by her, so that allowed Boston Renegades to take the lead now 7-6 here in the bottom half of the fourth inning.
Working on a little bit of leapfrog here.
Yeah. Evan Silver, he didn't hit the ball hard, but it did carry out quite a ways.
It was a nice hit.
Yes, it was. Frank Guerra, the ball went right by him. He didn't get down in time.
He kind of dove for it, but you know what? If he would have stopped it, he might have gotten the out, but boy, he would have had a black and blue mark. He didn't miss it by much.
I think you're correct with that one.
He has got a great ear for that ball. That's I tell you, to be able to dive down when you know the ball's coming by you in some capacity and be that close to the ball as he was.
Yeah, that's an attest to his hearing and an attest to how the spotters have him placed. They pretty much have been watching these players all week long. They're taking those tendencies on where they're hitting. And you have Joe Quintanilla at the plate now. He's 1 for 3. He's hit his out to, well, none other than Frank Guerra, number 33. He also K'd once, and then he scored a run in the very first inning. And Joe Quintanilla is set, ready to go. Number 14, right-handed batter. And they're set. Oh, swung underneath that.
Really high pitch, though. Really high pitch.
I think thought he was pitching to Bayou Thorne there. Got it up that high. Wrong team. Bring it down a little bit, Mr. Cotter, so he can hit that ball. And a pitch. Oh, way high.
That is I mean, he's got a high swing, but not that high. You almost have to be reaching up for it, but maybe that's what he's trying to get him to do, so he kind of does put the ball up into play.
Right, there's 2 outs here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. 1 run in. Joe Quintanilla.
Very competitive game.
Yes, it is. There was the best pitch yet.
Yes, it was, and he let that one go by.
2-1 count, I think.
The catcher's still giving him some direction.
Yeah, Dan Cotter's read it himself now. There it is. Oh,
It's hit. It's fair.
Yes.
It's got the 40-foot, but
Frank Guerra makes the play.
And actually, he had really missed the base. He was probably a good 15 feet away from the third base that he was running to. So had he not been right on that ball, chances are he would not have made it to the base in time anyway.
Right, and I'll tell you what, that was another Frank Guerra inning. Made the 3 putouts there.
So the Frank Guerra Invitational here.
Yes, it is. So after a complete 4 innings, you have your Boston Renegades 7 and the Long Island Bombers 6.
We're back at the 2004 Beat Baseball World Series in Tuttle Park in Columbus, Ohio, just across from the campus of Ohio State University. We're at the top of the 5th inning.
Big Bayou Thorns up to bat here, number 23. He's quite the karaoke master, as we heard. Oh,
whoa, quite the hitmaster there, too.
He drove that one out past Joe Quintanilla. Joe Quintanilla is not going to get it. Bayou Thorn's going to run it down. Oh, safe! Oh,
safe.
Joe Quintanilla.
That was a lot closer play than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, Joe Quintanilla tracked that ball down with cat-like speed, got to it, picked it up. If he just would have got it on the initial bounce, he would have had it. But Bayou Thorn taking his time getting down to the base, making it close. I tell you what, Joe Quintanilla made a great play on
Yeah,
that one.
it went by him first, and I didn't think he was going to get anywhere near that, and yet he still made a play out of it.
Braulio Thorne, yeah, took his time getting down to that base. I think is what we would say in softball. What were you doing, dragging an anchor? Took his time. That Joe Quintanilla, he made a big hit. Joe Quintanilla tracked it down though. Impressive fielding. And that brings to the plate Frank Guerra. I think we called
Mr. Defense, or
Yeah.
we will just call him Hoover.
Yeah. Frank the Hoover Guerra. He's made about, I could probably count him up for you here. He has made, in the first inning, he made 1 out. Second inning, he made no outs because everybody struck out. Third inning, he had 2 putouts. Fourth inning, he had 3 putouts. So,
Fifth inning, he's going to make 4, right?
yeah, they give him 4 outs, though. That's what they say. Frank Guerra, quite the defensive player today. It's unfortunate we didn't get to see him more often. I'd like to see him playing again. James Sorrentino says they're a young team. They're coming about. He's pretty confident that they'll be right in it again next year. And the pitch. Oh, we drove that one out towards the right side. Out by Joe Quintanilla. Past Joe Bazan. Joe Quintanilla can't find it. Joe Quintanilla still looking for it. Oh, and Frank Guerra put some speed on there towards the end to ensure himself a run.
And he needed to, because if he waited about 2 more steps, he would have been out.
Joe Quintanilla tracked it down over there in the right center field side. Number 14 trying to get to it. Joe Bazan just made that initial step wrong. Oh, Rob Wiseman taking the second and last defensive timeout allowed by the Boston Renegades. Trying to regroup them with there, see what's going on. But 2 runs up, 2 people up, 2 runs in.
Umpire's very vocal. You do get to hear him, as it's good for the outfield as well.
Hey, Dave, do they only... Hey, Dave, doesn't get 2 per side? No, but they only get 2, right? Ah, we were corrected on that. I'm glad we have our official scorekeeper, Sylvia, explain to me that they get only 2 timeouts per inning, but a total of 4 timeouts per game. So we could be in for a long game.
Unless somebody pretends to be hurt.
Yeah, well, yeah, the hurt one, the old injury. NFL, the NFL timeout. I see how that is. You gotta like the NFL timeout. James Sorrentino pitching to Stephen Guerra now. J.J. Ward out there in the third base left field position, you might say, right on the line. Took a timeout there. Ken Bailey's helping him out. Luis Marquez is still out there in left center. Evan Silver straightaway center. You have Darren Black kind of playing the right side rover position now. Backing him up is Joe Quintanilla and Joe Bazan over here on the right-hand side. Stephen Guerra drives that one. That's going to barely
Might have the distance.
Nope.
But
Nope. Dave Lukowski calls it off as a foul ball. Went about 39 feet.
Yeah, well, didn't miss it by much. And lucky for the defense, because nobody was moving towards that ball.
Nope, and that Darren Black was kind of way out of position on that one. He was way on the right-hand side.
But they moved him back there again.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah, that's Brian Grillo out there, the spotter for the Boston Renegades. I guess he does. He's been watching all these teams play quite a bit.
Official timeout.
So we're going to actually have an all-new World Series team. 2 teams this year that haven't played in it. Last year, Kansas did not make it, and Taiwan did not make it. Last year's champions were the Chicago Comets. They beat... Oh, in comes Sinjil Ankiola coming in for... On a defensive change in the middle of an inning, Sinjil Ankiola coming in for Joe Quintanilla. That's pretty unusual. You hardly ever see that. Maybe Joe hurt himself that one out timeout there. He didn't have to track that ball down. He's over there. A couple of people making...
Yeah, usually they wait till the half innings before they make their replacements.
Sinjil Ankiola, though, quite a defensive player. He's very good. We watched him a couple times.
Actually, in the middle of a batter as well.
Yes, they did. So, Joe Cantanilla comes out and Singil Ankiola comes in. Why I would know that name is because I've seen him play a couple times. It's just one to remember.
But it does roll off the lips so well, Dave.
Yes, Singil Ankiola. I talked to him actually and got his proper pronunciation of his name, so I was pretty confident with that. They call him Anky, so we could call him Anky. He wouldn't mind. And Steven Guerra up here at the plate, one of the board members of the NBBA. Another play. Remind him again, which Dave reminded me, and I forgot to mention that they are available on nbba.org, all the games, because they put a link up to our website, which is WCRS Radio, one word, all small letters, .org.
We have a whole beat baseball section.
Yeah, we have some information about radio reading services in general. Radio reading services are the ones who supply print material for the voice print, for the print handicapped, visually impaired.
We're the voice print.
Yeah, we are.
Voice impaired.
Yeah, voice impaired. So.
That's why we have the wonderful volunteers that we have.
Yes, we do. Our organization works basically on 120 volunteers to read newspapers throughout the day.
2 of them over working on the radio broadcast, Barb Bruno and Tom Cross. Tom Cross brings us our Friday Akron Beacon Journal. Whoa, foul ball.
Drove that one down the third base side. Foul, though.
Every week except this week, as he was here covering the games.
I had him hard at work yesterday covering some games, so he does the Akron Beacon Journal on Fridays. And Steven Garrett coming in. Back to hit. Oh,
Let's it go by.
Pass. Got a 2-2 count on him. Or 1-2, however you want to call it. He's set. Oh,
fouls it back for a full count.
He has kind of like that tomahawk swing. Brings it right down. I think they bumped our camera. Our camera kind of coming from behind home plate there. One of the 3 cameras that the teleproductions crew from Kent State has set up. Hard-working individuals that they are. And the pitch. Oh, he's going to hit
that one. Not have the distance.
I say, Dave, that's got your spin to bring it back.
Yeah. I don't think if it had to spin the other way, it would have had enough to take it to 40 feet.
Got kind of chopped underneath that one with that tomahawk-type swing he's going.
Well, you know what? They're really not playing anybody over on that third base side, a shortstop position. And that really will make a difference on the way he's hitting the ball. And a quick shift could put somebody right there. But
yeah. So Steven Garrett taking a timeout before Boston did, kind of threw him off a little bit. He says, I'm going to call a timeout before they do a plane. So Steven Garrett, one of the board members as well. He's big into the website game, loves downloading our games from the website. Quite a number of these players, they say they put them on there just as they listen to background while they're doing work.
Must be desperate for something to listen to.
Oh, he drove
what a hit.
That's out past Evan Silver, going out towards Luis Marquez. Luis Marquez makes an initial.
He went the wrong.
Oh, he went overneath it. Oh, Luis Marquez was in position, took a step right over the top of it.
He kind of went to his left and missed it, then went to his right and missed it. And by the time he did recover, and he did recover the ball, but by the time he did, it was already a score.
Man, Steven Guerra unhitched his anchor to make it down there pretty quick. Didn't waste any time. Made quite a run there. He would have had, I think Luis Marquez would have had it, but he took that extra step, went right over the top of the ball. I mean, it's easy for us to look at it now and say that's what he did, but, you know, we're not out there with our eyes covered. So, great coverage by Luis Marquez, but just not in time.
Always a little easier from this end.
No, it's a lot easier talking about it. And that brings Nick Esposito. Nick Esposito is 1 for 2. He's got a run in and has hit 2 to Darren Black. So, let's see what he can do with it here. They got him pretty much packed in, too. If he hits one long, he's going to be running again. Number 49, Nick Esposito. He plays out in the left field position. Oh, foul ball off. That's actually coming back towards us. Dave Lukowski stops it in front of us. We didn't have to field it, thank gosh. Probably would have missed it.
Top half of the 5th inning, no outs yet. 3 runs scored for Long Island Bombers.
Right. 3 up, 3 runs in. Dave Lukowski gave the batter a timeout there so he could adjust his face mask. You can't touch your face mask whatsoever unless you call timeout. So all the players know that rule. They're very conscious about it. And they're set.
Swing. What a swing he has.
I also learned another rule yesterday. If the batter is not prepared when he comes to the plate, like if he doesn't have his eye mask on, if he is not prepared, then it's an automatic strike right away. So he must.
There's just going to be a walking rule book pretty soon, Dave.
I'm learning. Yeah, you do enough games, you can enough things happen all the time. It's always something different. So a few things that you learn here and there. Oh, he's going to hit that one.
Fouls it back.
Swivel back foul again, back towards the base checker. Base caller today is Julie. She's Gina's sister-in-law.
Columbus has done a wonderful job putting this tournament together, this World Series.
Nothing but compliments heard around. Gina and Rob Wygant have worked their, I should say, their proverbial butts off putting this together.
And they've been working on it just about a full year.
They have. Since last year when we left Colorado, we started working on this, and they did quite a job putting it together. Rob and Gina garnered all the sponsorships throughout the Columbus area.
Gets the ball, foul.
Foul ball again.
Right back to his own bench.
So he...
Dan could have picked that ball up for them.
Yeah, right at Dan. Fielded at his feet. Rob and Gina did quite a lot of work on this. The whole World Series committee did. Put a great opening ceremony together. Had some great keynote speakers. Had Cliff Stout, in which Dave Binkley and his son looked up all the information for me, which was outstanding.
I did it by saying, DJ, look this up.
Had a little information to talk back and forth with Cliff Stout. He's quite the individual that he is. He actually attended most of the games yesterday. He was out pretty much on the fields all day yesterday.
Let that one go by for a ball.
And the pitch now. Oh, swung underneath that one for the first out of the inning. Nice swing on that one, though. That brings to the plate Ronnie Matthews. Ronnie Matthews is 0 for 3 at this time. He's hit one out to Luis Marquez, one to Darren Black, and he's K'd once as well. So look at this. They're packing the defense in now. They're learning that they're not hitting it far, but they're placing it. So they're working on that.
It's got that level swing, not a strong follow through, but
it's got the Dan Kelly swing. Dan Kelly has the exact same swing as that.
But Dan Kelly can make that ball move.
Dan Kelly had quite a couple of hits yesterday when we covered the game.
It's actually facing us as he's set.
The corkscrew effect here. Gets a base check.
Not that we would know about the corkscrew, but
no. Here we go. Ooh.
He got a piece of it, or a piece of the catcher, but I'll assume it was the ball. She didn't jump.
Yeah. Nice high target given by the catcher, Don Fennick. Oh, he drove that. It's going to be foul, though. Ripped it down that right side there. It squirms off foul. A lot of spin on it. Hey, so you have Joe Bazzone over there covering the line a little bit. You have Singio Ankiola coming in, and Evan Silver all on the right-hand side, and Darren Black in front of them both, in front of all three of them. Luis Marquez and J.J. Ward are out there on the left-hand side by themselves. Oh, he drove that one out toward the left
there.
side. Right
where
out towards
nobody was.
Luis Marquez, right out towards J.J. Ward. Darren Black looking for it. Darren Black stumbling around, and he's, roundabout way to the base. Again, cost Ronnie Matthews a run there.
Yeah, I think had he had the straight-on course.
Darren Black, number 19, had lots of extra time there to pick up the ball. So, I mean, took a roundabout way at the bait. I mean, he ran towards the crowd kind of.
See, they had everybody on the first base side there, and it went up, where your shortstop usually plays, and it just wasn't covered.
And Darren Black scooted over from his center field, the center rover right there, shallow, and got the ball. But I don't know, that was a lot of time for him to get down to that base.
So it wasn't that he didn't run fast. He did.
And Jennifer Ash, who is 1 for 3 at this time, is coming to the plate. She's hit 2 to Darren Black, and she scored the run. They're going to have a TV timeout here. Going on here. Lots of volunteers work throughout this. Another big help through the whole tournament has been, his name is Lou Wygant, which is Rob's father. He is organized. He has made sure all the bases, all the fields have been set up at all the proper times. I think a couple of the games that were started late that was because of myself. We told them if they wanted some TV,
They
they
call
gotta
that the Lloyd delay, did they?
I think I'm the human rain delay now. But they allowed the Kent State teleproduction guys to tighten up the ship this morning before we started the game so we get proper coverage. It's a learning experience for everybody. Once they got it down, the teleproduction crew pretty much had everything set up and they were good to go. And they're ready now. Jennifer Ash. Ooh,
Swing and a miss.
good healthy cut. Oh, and now they're playing keep away from James Shorentino.
Pickle in the middle there.
Yeah, #1 pickle. So Jennifer Ash, she's ready to go again. They have got the infield packed. Nobody has passed the 90-foot mark. Everybody has stepped in. She needs to drive one. She needs to drive one. She needs to hit one good. I don't think they'd be playing that position if Braulio Thorne was up here.
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't want to play that close, and I can see the ball coming at me. We'll see here. Maybe Jennifer can get a hold of one, surprise him a little bit. Ooh, she's underneath that one.
Actually, really not a real good pitch. That one was
A little
really high pitch.
Yeah. There's 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th inning. 3 runs have scored. Jennifer Ash is at the plate. And they're set. Oh, she hit that one, though. Good one towards Darren Black. Darren Black, oh, underneath his arm. It's out towards him. Joe Bazone. Oh, Joe Bazone makes the play. But Jennifer making it close. Ball didn't roll very far.
But it could have been closer because she really almost ran straight down the foul line and the base is 10 feet away. So she really had to curve in just before she got there. And, you know, that gives your defense a couple extra steps for them to pick up that ball, which they certainly were able to do.
Yeah, Joe Bazone, he recovered quite perfectly by himself, got a couple steps to his right, scooped the ball up. So after the top half of the 5th inning, the Long Island Bombers retake the lead. It is 9 for the Long Island Bombers and 7 for your Boston Renegades. All right, we're entering the bottom half of the 5th inning here. It's going to be Joe Bazone. You heard him make a nice play last inning. He's going to be leading off for your Boston Renegades. He right now is 2 for 3. And he hits a bomb. He's good. He's going to bomb the Bombers here with a big left-handed swing. They've given him quite a bit of room out there. Ronnie Matthews and Jennifer Ash are playing deep out there on the right-hand side. Stephen Guerra even took a couple steps back.
Casey at the bat there, just let that first one go by.
Frank Guerra still hasn't moved off much, but has shift to his right, his left side a little bit. He's playing more behind the pitcher, Joe Cotter. Backing him up is Braulio Thorne, and out in the left, all by himself, he's going to be your Nick Esposito. So if she actually hits one to left field, he's going to be running a ways. And the pitch. Oh, he hit that one.
Hits it, but it's going to go up and come straight back foul.
Fielded nicely by Dave Lukowski. You notice there's 3 Lukowskis running around here. There's John Lukowski, there's John Lukowski Jr., and then there's Dave Lukowski. John Lukowski is one of the field umpires out in the field. And you'll see John Jr., who is also one of the field umps, but he's actually doing photographs for the MBBA today. So all of them help out.
Will the umpire switch positions after this game, or is...
He might rotate a little bit just to give him an idea. The actual head umpire for the MBBA that makes all the rules, changes, and decisions, along with the rules committee, is Ken Bailey. He's covering the third base side. So, foul tip that one. He makes pretty much all the same decisions, but the umpiring experience out here is just phenomenal that you have for these games. Braulio Thorne calls timeout for the plane that's about to fly by, and we'll start picking up the hearing. So you don't have a lack of experience out in the field. Of course, we have combined beat baseball experience of
4
10
years?
8,
Well,
we have
combined, yeah.
Combined of just almost 10 years. I say we have quite a number of games, though.
Between you calling them and me putting them together, we're all set.
I think we have quite a number of games we've done. I think if we list it, pretty much the players, we know their names now. They know us by our names. Come and talk to them. Hang out with them. They're pretty nice. If you spend any time at all with the players, you can say their competitive level just rises 100% when they step on that field. Off the field, and there's also a sportsmanship award you gotta recognize too. They'll help other teams. You know, there's a sportsmanship award was won by the Oklahoma City Bombers last year. Again, the Oklahoma City Bombers is one of those teams that are very, very friendly, help out, support other teams. And he's back to bat.
I saw how friendly they were with all the beer they were toting up the other night.
They make it a party. That's a
Oh,
drive up towards
wonderful
center
hit.
field. Out towards Bayou Thorne. Bayou Thorne just going to give up. Oh, dead ball, dead ball. They got to wait for a second. Bayou Thorne calls dead ball. He stayed away from it,
And
didn't
it
touch
bounced
it.
a couple times before he called it a dead ball.
He was right there on top of it, too. Dave Lukowski's going to come out and pick it up. Dead ball starts with a new count.
Dead ball call.
Dead ball was called, and so Bayou Thorne.
I mean, he was so close. There's no reason he wouldn't pick it up.
Yeah, he was right there, so.
And the runner just got up off the ground from knocking the base over, now adjusting his knee pads, and
Well,
he's got to come all the way back and start all over again.
With a fresh count, though, but they have to complete the play. No one can touch it. The runner, because if it's not a dead ball and he doesn't go ahead and score, then he's going to be out. So he has to complete the play.
But it pretty much, as close as he was, I mean, he wasn't any more than 3 steps away from the ball. It pretty much had to be a dead ball.
Yes. Bayou Thorne was in the proper position to pick up the ball, and he just said dead ball, and
Which
he just raised his hand.
He couldn't find it.
Right. And if he does, say what happens. If he does go ahead and pick up the ball and he makes the out, then it's an out. But if he tries to make an attempt the ball, move the ball, then dead ball is out. I mean, it's going to be a run.
I mean, there could be a question whether he tampered with it or something.
Right.
So they don't want that.
And no other umpire can pick up the ball either. The head umpire has to go out and verify that it is a dead ball. So Joe Bazan gets a brand new count here, so we'll get to see him do his Casey at the bat whiz by him.
He could use that break this time, too.
Yep.
That's for a base check. First third base, then first.
Joe Bazan, not shy about swinging his bat, though. He takes a good, healthy cut at it.
If I were the pitcher, I'd be worried he pointed the bat right at the pitcher.
Yeah.
You're my next target. Good thing you let that one go by. That was not a real good pitch.
Yeah, that was kind of, but he likes that low one, though. He's into that low pitch.
Yeah, but he swings higher than that. Maybe when he's steady.
Oh, call timeout again for the plane.
The Columbus airport is busy this morning.
Yeah, we're going to hit that little zone of planes coming by. Can't tell you which way the wind's blowing because that affects which way the plane's coming around. So.
We have the point. We might as well mention we are beautiful Tuttle Park here in Columbus, Ohio, just across from the Ohio State University campus.
Yeah, another important thing we have to mention, too, is the Adopt a Ball Donor program. You'll see the name on the ball.
Watch how you say that, don't you?
Very carefully again. You have to adopt a ball.
Amy will get after you.
Again, I messed up that, too. So the Adopt a Ball Donor program, a lot of people have purchased one ball. It costs $20 to purchase a ball. So what they did is they offset that by allowing people to put their names on the ball, and they play with the balls throughout the game. We'll get the name of the Adopt a Ball donor on this one here in a minute, as soon as the ball rolls back to us sometime. Oh, foul tip that one.
Swing and a miss.
Maybe between innings I'll get a look at it, see what it is.
Right, you know, he practices with a real high swing, then he really goes down low when he's swinging.
Yeah. That's probably kind of tough for the pitcher to get to that. Ooh, just over the top of that, he nicked it. Just nicked it there with a little bit of that. So, got 2 strikes on him here. Nobody out in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 9-7. Long Island Bombers holding on to that slim lead over the Boston Renegades. And the pitch. Long Island Bombers, they got the pinstripe uniforms. Pretty nice with the Bombers across the front. And Boston Renegades got the solid colored dark blue with the gray writing. It says Renegades across it.
Stripes around the colors and the sleeves.
Yeah. They're ready to go now. Oh, we drove that back towards the... Oh. Nice catch by Rob Wiseman. Comes up with the barehanded grab. A little showboating for our camera crew. Good job, Rob.
Pretty pleased with himself he was on that one.
I think he's going to have problems throwing the ball back with his broken arm since he broke it patting himself on the back. And he's up and ready. And the pitch to Joe Bazan. No.
Balk.
Balk. Exactly. It's the first thing we say. Balk. It's kind of like when one passes, if you're playing the Houston Bayou City Heat, all of them go swing, batter. They let that pass ball go by. It's pretty funny. I think they even do it to their own team. And they're ready again. The pitch. Oh, that's a big out for the Long Island Bombers to get Joe Bazan. 49 out there. Nick Esposito has to call timeout to fix his mask. Turns away from the field. Made sure that was all within the rules.
As the temperature continues to rise in the sun here, we'll probably be seeing a lot more of that as people have to.
They said the weather was going to be crummy, too. They said it was going to be cold. I haven't seen it cold. You know
It,
what? I'm
it,
sunburned.
it was cold this morning when we got up, but we're talking about getting up at 5 in the morning, but it's not cold now.
No, and the production crew and the TV crew and myself got up out here. We had to back the production bus in and the Kent State bus in to bring that baby on. Dave Lukowski tells them there's one out in the field. Luis Marquez is up to bat. And the base check for Luis. Luis Marquez, he's 1 for 3 right now. I could pretty much tell you where he hit it for 2. That would have been Frank Guerra, Mr. Infielder. Oh, he drives that one. He's keeping
First
that away
baseline.
from Frank. That's going out towards
He's running to
Ronnie
third.
Matthews. Ronnie Matthews down. Oh, Ronnie Matthews
My.
makes a fantastic play. Got down on his knees. Ball rolled up his leg. He pinned it against his chest and held it away to make the play.
Of course, it helps when the ball is hit exactly to you.
Right. Yeah, he didn't have to do a lot of movement, though. So, number 6, Ronnie Matthews joins in the outs. Helps out. He's helping out Frank Guerra here. That's one of the very few times that it wasn't hit to Frank. But I tell you what, Luis Marquez went way away from Frank Guerra with that one.
Yes, he did, and it was hit about almost 110 feet out there, and it rolled. Something when you give him that much time to let that ball roll to you, he's kind of a speed demon there. You has a better chance of getting on base, that's for sure.
He made it awful close, Luis Marquez did. It was a nice play by Ronnie Matthews. So, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and J.J. Ward comes to the plate. J.J. Ward plays out there in that left field line position, covering that for the Boston Renegades. This Boston team's pretty young. If you look at them, all their players are pretty young, so they'll be around for quite a while. Nothing they can do but get better. Ooh, good pitch, just a little bit over the top of that one. Pitcher's bringing it up to him. You have to remember, too, when the pitcher adjusts the height, he has to change the speed a little bit, too, so it throws the batter off. Oh,
swing and a miss.
He's a little low on that one. Pitch was a little low. Looking out here out the field, watching the Taiwan home run warm up there. Kansas All-Stars are warming up across the way. Taiwan team's pretty colorful. They set up all their country flags and do some chants and some songs. It's pretty interesting.
And I tell you what, defensively on the field, they are fast.
Kansas as well too. Kansas has 4 MVP, former MVP defensive all-stars on the field at one time. Oh, got that one.
Fouls it straight down, about 5 feet in front of the plate.
Yeah. Defense is still ready to go.
Should make quite a contest.
And you can't say, it's tough to say that one team is going to lose, but you know what? It amazes me to see Taiwan come so far in the number of years that they've been doing it. It's like to see Cleveland, who did a roundabout circle. Cleveland has come back quite a ways from where they were. They've been pretty much dominating the. Struck them out there for the final out in the 5th inning there. So 3 up, 3 down to complete our 5th inning there. Boston Renegades walk away with a goose egg, and it is 9-7 after 5 in favor of your Long Island Bombers. All right, top of 6th inning here. We're at lovely Tuttle Park. We have the Long Island Bombers winning right now 9-7 over the Boston Renegades at your consolation/barbecue game here Saturday morning.
Could be the last chance they have to score here.
Braulio Thorne, exactly.
6 innings long, this contest is.
Braulio Thorne. Ooh, nice stop by the catcher, Don Fennick.
Now we know why she has the hockey mask.
Yeah, she caught it with that hockey mask.
Yes, she did.
Braulio Thorne, big left-handed guy. Another guy that you wouldn't want to owe money to in a dark alley.
No. Especially if he's got that bat.
Quite the singer, though. Quite the singer he is.
Mr. Karaoke,
he
is.
Oh, he drove that
He's
one
got
good
that
out there.
fair.
Oh, just past Joe Bazan. Out there by Sanjil Ankiola. And Sanjil Ankiola. Why do you bring him in to play defense? That's why you bring Sanjil Ankiola in to play defense. Number 17, Sanjil Ankiola in to play defense. I'll tell you what, he made a great play on Braulio Thorne out there. Braulio hit one good enough to be a hit, but the deep grass again slowed it down a little bit. Gave Singeal a time to get over there to scoop it up.
Not the fastest of runners, but I wouldn't want to get in his way when he's running.
Nope. Him and Forbes would have been a good collision over there on the right-hand side.
Oh, my.
A lot of beef hitting each other. Singeal Ankiola with the nice play, number 17. That brings to the plate Frank, Mr. Defense, Guerra. I tell you what, Frank's stingy when that defense comes out there. He's giving nothing up.
But you know what? They're really trying to keep that ball away from him now, although he covers a lot of territory.
He covers almost that complete infield. He's the regular Hoover. He's cleaned the infield off pretty well. Frank Guerra right now is 2 for 4. Scored a couple of runs here. They need to really tack on a few more insurance runs. Oh, he's going to hit that one.
It's going to be
gonna
foul.
Maybe not.
Yeah, it did.
I tell you what, that's one of them sidewinder squibblers could make it close.
It had the distance. I see the line from here, but it was foul.
Just squibbered off there. You know, also, he took off running a couple steps the wrong way. And not that the base was late, but just took off on his own. So.
And usually those 2 wrong steps is all it takes, because then you got to stop, change your momentum, go the other direction. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody actually head the wrong direction and then still make it to base on time.
Yeah, that's right. Especially when the defensive games are playing like they are now. So we'll see. And Frank's back at the plate. Oh, he drove that right down the third base line. He got a good job. Yeah, it's going to remain fair.
It's going to be right there.
It's going to be rain. He's got to come in a long way. He's going to get the. Oh, and he makes the play. J.J. Ward comes in from his deep spot in left field, corrals the ball. Took him a minute to get it, but it took Frank Guerra a little bit down to get down to the plate, even though he got a good couple of steps out of there. But J.J. Ward comes in to make the play on Frank Guerra. Number 10, J.J. Ward with the play.
Well, Boston really trying to keep the scoring off this inning so that they can get their chance to, at the very least, tie this game up.
You are correct. And that brings to plate Steve Guerra. Steve Guerra is 2 for 4 as well. They need a couple of insurance runs here to get a hold of him. And we got some cell phones ringing behind us, which is about annoying to about a couple of players. I learned my lesson the other day. Someone said, shut that thing off. So I pretty much turned
Especially mine is extremely irritating there.
Was that yours?
That was my son calling, but...
well, if it's, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but they're pretty close to what usually a player will let you know. Turn that thing off.
Luckily, we were in between plays there.
Good call on that. Well, not call. Steve Guerin up to the plate here. He's 2 for 4 right now.
Now when the base buzz, I reach for my cell phone.
Yeah, I don't know if you want him getting that close to you. And the pitch. Oh, swung over the top of that with that axe-like swing. I can see a plane coming over here over the head here. We might have a timeout unless Steve can get this bat in here. You also have James Shorentino pitching to him. And the pitch. Oh, just over the top of that as well. A little behind on that one.
Yeah, plane's coming almost directly overhead here, but no one has called time yet.
As long as the noise goes backwards at first. No, hey.
Oh, there goes the hands.
That's about right there with that little plane timeout. It's making that turn right over there. Yeah. And we're joined here by Rusty. That's Kevin Simpson's mom. Hi, Miss. How you doing today? Wonderful day for beat ball. I'm sure we could probably coax Dan Tonelli into panning over here towards us, showing Rusty here. Kevin Simpson's mom over here on camera. Yeah, see if Dan focuses over here a little bit. He might move it around. Pan on you. There you go. Everybody's going to be a star when we're done.
Problem is to focus on her, and you'd have to see you too, Dave.
No, park it right there.
All right, back to action.
Back to some real action there. He's got an 0-2 count with 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th inning. Oh, he lets that one go by. Does have 2 swings left, so he should be all right.
Ball 2 strikes.
And he's ready to go. Oh, he hits it,
but fouls it back.
He's way early on that. He tomahawk chops that one down there. Fielded there by one of the spotters for the Long Island Bombers. Steve Guerra's going to have to reline himself back up. And they are set and ready to go again. There's Steve Guerra, set. And the pitch. Oh, struck him out. I don't think I want to end an inning like that. So, that's after the top half of the 6th inning. The Long Island Bombers did not score. There remains Long Island Bombers 9. Boston Renegades coming up to bat. They have 7.
It's do or die here in the bottom of the 6th inning
Dude,
for the
I'm excited.
Boston Renegades.
Boston Renegades up here. They're 2 runs down. We're going to lead it off with Rich Flint. Rich Flint, number 20 here, going to lead it off. He's going to follow that up by Evan Silver. Evan Silver's been hot, so you got a good chance here. Get right back in it. Rich Flint needs to get off that goose egg. He's been stuck on the goose egg here. He is 0 for 3. He's hit 2 to Frank Guerra and 1 strikeout. Boston giving themselves a little encouragement here for hitting. Lots of fan support behind him. Little cheering, little back cheering going on. Saw something pretty interesting yesterday in the Kansas-Taiwan game. Kansas has their signature big gun, fire one, and Taiwan answered it with their own cheer. I don't know what they said, but it was pretty good. They all in just perfect timing. And number 22 out from the Taiwan, he's pretty fired up. He's quite a competitor. And Rich Flint back to the plate here after that timeout. He's ready. Oh, Rich Flint swung underneath that one. He's trying here. Big Rich Flint. Another one you would. Oh, time.
I don't think that was a pitch.
Head umpire, Dave Lukowski, went out there and warned Steve Guerra. Got to keep quiet during the pitch. Can't be saying anything during the pitch.
So that was a no pitch?
And that was a no pitch. Didn't count for, didn't count against. And they're ready. Oh, he's going to foul tip. Oh. Not quite the beat baseball bunt that you like at the 40.
About 10 feet and then goes foul.
But you know what? I don't think that would work against the Long Island Bombers. They are parked right here on the line. You're not going to get much of that beat baseball.
You got Hoover right there, so.
Yeah, he's pretty much all over that. Steve Guerra, number 33, has been covering that. I think they call that the 5-hole. He's covering that 5-hole pretty much. Well, I say the 3-hole. Right there, he doesn't let anything get by him. Reminds me of some of the times that you watched Steve Stanby. You swear to God, he's got his mask up and he's looking at the ball. So it's scary to see him play. Frank Guerra's having one of those games, though. Everything is coming right at him. He's getting to it. So Rich Flint here comes up to bat. Oh, he drove that one out towards the right side. It's going to be a foul ball. Just foul, though. Ronnie Matthews out there looking for it. Dave Horn, one of the field umpires, is going to go out there and a little assistant. And one of the ball sponsors is the ball we're using right now, the Adopt a Ball donor program, is actually Christian Capital.
You're getting pretty brave with that, you know.
Yeah, I got it now. It's off my tongue now. After I messed up that first faux pas of the word, we will try not to do that again. So Christian Capital is the Adopt a Ball donor program for this one.
Got a full count. 1 ball, 3 strikes.
Rich Ward.
Let's
Rich
that one
Flint.
go by.
He's set. Dan Cotter's ready to go. They're still setting. Frank Guerra moving around a little bit. Oh.
Yeah, he got enough of it. I thought it might have been a little bit there. Not that it moved the ball, but just enough that you could hear it.
Thank goodness for that extra coat of paint. He's going a little plumber action for the camera. Sure he's happy about that. You know what, though? It's going to be a close timing here. Got a plane coming. Got the guy still lining himself up. Plane's coming over. Nobody's called timeout, though, so we're pretty good.
Get this pitch in.
Rich Flint's got to get this pitch in here. Oh, he
Hits
drove
it.
it too.
It will be
is
foul.
Foul ball. Drove it foul. Good long hit, though. He crushed that one out there.
It was. It probably went a good 95 feet before it hit the ground.
Just foul, too. Landed about a foot foul. So, that wasn't bad.
Was a heck of a hit.
Dino Vasily from the Boston Renegades rubbing Ridgeflint's shoulders there, giving him a little relaxation, trying to get him straightened up for the
This is
game.
the second time he's had to run all the way to the base.
Number 13, Ridgeflint.
Most of the way.
Yeah, he's been lucky, though. He's hit his to Frank Guerra right away, which pretty much got it down. Little timeout there. Dan Cotter. Oh, he's going to let Rob Weissman warm up because the next batter, Evan Silver, Rob Weissman pitches to. So, in between innings, smart thinking by Rob Weissman. They got a timeout. Might as well throw a couple balls. All right. And Dan Cotter's going to get a couple in here. Nothing wrong with that. Getting a couple extra here and there is good to go.
Play a stop. Might as well get what you need.
Yep. All right. Big Ridgeflint. Dan Cotter pitching to him. Defense is still out there. I think Nick Esposito took a couple more steps back. Nick Esposito has some good speed over there on the left-hand side. Frank Guerra is still playing in that shallow, short position. Jennifer Ash is deep in center field. Brio Thorne's in front of her. Stephen Guerra's over here on the right side, backed up by Ronnie Matthews in the deep right side. And he's set. Ridgeflint's ready to go. A little playing timeout. Oh, he drove that one up the middle.
But you know what? It should have the
40
distance.
feet. And Frank Guerra comes across the play, makes it, holds the ball up. Yet he's got a cramp or something because he's not getting up very fast. Hey, he must have a cramp or something. But Ridgeflint, first out of the inning there. Made
Teammates
by.
tell him, hey, you got 2 more outs before you get a cramp, buddy.
Yeah, he's got a cramp or something there. He got it about halfway across the field. It slowed him down, and then he fell down on the ground and picked the ball up. 33's, yeah, it must be in his shoulder.
Must be in his shoulder, yes.
He got it about halfway across the field. They saw him kind of wince a little bit, and then he went down and picked the ball up, and then he just laid there. James Shorentino.
There's no need to get up in a hurry, though.
He kind of caught it there, yeah. Got a cramp. He's trying to get it out.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Kansas brought their own masseuse along with them.
Did they really?
Yes, they did. Tell you what, send the Kansas masseuse out there to help them out.
How was he?
How was she?
Oh.
She's
all right, then you don't have to tell.
I didn't get that. Last year at the World Series, though, the tournament host arranged for a school of massage therapists. The whole school was out there. They had like 4 or 5 tables. You got to lay on there in between games. They even let me lay on one. It was pretty nice.
I tell you what, you got to be careful, though, because I used to go to the barber college, and, they didn't always do a real good job.
I figured how wrong could they go? They're just rubbing your shoulders. As long as they weren't popping anything out of place, I'm pretty happy with that. So they did a very nice job.
My luck, I'd get the one guy that wasn't going to pass the course.
And actually, they were all girls, though. It was pretty nice. So this brings Evan Silver to the plate. There's one out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Evan Silver is 2 for 3. Rob Weissman has kept him right on there. Evan gets the base. Check there. Rob Weissman's ready.
2 runs down. 2 outs away from being out of this game.
Yeah, he needs to make something up here. But some big hitters are coming up for. Ooh, just underneath that one. A couple of big hitters are coming up in the Boston spot here. Joe Quintanilla and Joe Bazone.
It's so odd because he doesn't look like he's got much of a swing, but that ball, he's made that thing sail.
Yeah.
You see it, just not much of a swing apparently, but boy.
He must have some pop to it when he gets around on it, huh?
He gets it, when he does, he gets it right on the thick of the bat.
Yeah, hits that sweet spot. He's good. Oh, he took a hitch in his swing with that one. That cost him that one.
That's 3 strikes there.
He had a little hitch in his swing with that one. That's what cost him the swing on that one. A little bit behind with the hitch on that one. And they're ready this time. Let that one go by.
For a full count.
Didn't like the sound of it whatsoever.
1 ball, 3 strikes.
And here we go. They're ready to go. He's got a swing at this one. Nothing letting this one. It's the money pitch. Evan Silver struck out there. So Joe Quintanilla, who went out on the defensive end, re-enters in spot for Sanjil Ankiola. Coming in for Sanjil Ankiola again. So they're using Joe for his bat. The other game, they just basically put him on a designated fielder, designated hitter spot, but Joe Quintanilla has played quite well in the field, but then replaced by Sigil Ankiola.
Well, they're 1 out away from elimination here in the consolation bracket of the 2004 Baseball World Series.
Getting pretty excited. Joe Shorentino is going to make a rule change. Oh, okay, so they got it straightened out. You can re-enter rule. They got it all straightened out here.
Official scorekeepers certainly have to know the rules as well.
From my understanding, what I learned the other day is they have to go by 6 outs, though. Joe Quintanilla has to be out by 6. Has to be out for 6 outs. I'm sure until he's allowed to re-enter. But I'm sure we'll have to check on that rule here. Which I'll have to count it up. If you look at the scorekeeper, he went out in the middle of the 4th inning. So I guess that was 6 outs. He covered his 6-out time frame. Re-entered Joe Quintanilla. That's the rule. 2 outs here. Bottom half of the 6th inning. No runs have scored. 9-7 in favor of the Long Island Bombers out in the field. And another timeout. Just figures that, don't you know?
The airport is busy today.
A little bit about that morning time frame. Like I said, we could go through and get our list of Adopt a Ball donor program people, and we will have that during the next game. I'll have that list handy for me, as well as Dave's pronunciation guide for his Taiwanese home run team.
Make some copies of that.
I'm pretty sure I got it all. I saved almost all the scores from those games and such. I did not throw any pieces of paper out, and if I did, they're still in there. So we got it back at Broadcast Central, our own research crew. And number 14, Joe Quintanilla is ready to go now with 2 outs. 2 runs down, bottom half of the 6th inning here. 9-7. And Dan Connor pitching. Oh, he's fouled that one off. Another nice scoop by Rob Weissman back here. In fact, at every table of the tournament this year, at every scorekeeper's table, was an official rule book for the NBBA, so there were no questions. The result of the field, and all in the end, head umpire was called on the radio to make the call. So they're pretty efficient with the rules and such throughout the volunteer organization. Oh, over the top of that one.
Strike 2.
Joe Quintanilla was close, but just a little high on that one.
2 strikes away from going home.
Oh, looks like we're going to have a substitute batter for Joe Bazan, which is going to be Dino Vasili. I don't know why you'd want to pull out Joe Bazan unless you want everybody to play. I can understand that. But Joe Bazan has hit the ball really well. Oh, let that one go by, and that was one of those high pitches that he liked to.
Yes.
So that's a questionable let go. But how do we know?
1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's easy for us to say that, so. Joe Quintanilla. Oh, just underneath that one. Full count here. 1 strike away. 1 pitch away from the Consolation Championship game going to Long Island Bombers here. Frank Guerra looks pretty psyched. He's taking a couple steps in. Steve's pretty excited. People have to get this last out, though. And here it is. Oh, Rob's got his hand up saying don't pitch yet. Oh, okay. Ready to go.
This is it.
Here's the last pitch here, as Long Island would hope for. Oh, swung over the top of it, struck him out. So to finish off that inning, 2 strikeouts and 1. No runs scored for the Boston Renegades, and the final score was 9-7. A close back and forth battle here.
Yes, it was.
As you can hear by the cheers, Long Island Bombers are pretty excited about winning the consolation bracket, which is very impressive. And they weren't even placing in the last couple of years. They went 2-2 and on home. So a couple of key highlights of the game here. Braulio Thorne went 3 for 5, so he scored 3 runs. Frank Guerra went 2 for 5, but Frank Guerra, let me just count this up. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He had 7 putouts in the game. That's just nothing short of amazing.
Almost half of the putouts.
Yeah, the other half, the only thing that got more than him, I think, were strikeouts. And that was another key factor to the Boston Renegades here. Their strikeout factor was a little high to be scoring a lot of runs in that. So, at the end of this consolation bracket we call the Barbecue Championship game, the score was Long Island Bombers 9 and the Boston Renegades 7.